division of Jefferson Pilot Financial.
Even a little rain or a lot of rain can't dampen the spirits of Ole Miss football fans in the Grove, especially when the Alabama Crimson Tide fans hit town. The legacy of the Manning name at Ole Miss has continued in storybook fashion.
Manning sprints right, he looks, throws it in the end zone, wide open, touchdown! Manning has broken the record.
In his first collegiate start earlier this season, Eli produced a school record 5 touchdown passes. And 18 straight completions, a number that matches his famous father's jersey at Ole Miss. Through 4 games, Eli has become the fastest Rebel quarterback to pass for over 1,000 yards in a season. But today, Alabama comes to Oxford with a quarterback who has provided some much-needed electricity to the Tide offense. Tyler Watts has rushed for over 100 yards in 2 straight games for Coach Brandt's Crimson Tide, as both Alabama and Ole Miss look to stay in the hunt for a divisional title. It's an SEC West showdown next. The Eli Manning era has begun in Oxford, Mississippi at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium as a $25 million expansion taking place at Vaught-Hemingway. And there is Eli Manning, the sophomore quarterback who is off to such a great start. He will lead the Ole Miss Rebels in action today against the Alabama Crimson Tide in the big SEC Western Division class. And hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Neal, and welcome to our Jefferson Pilot SEC football game of the week. This is a big SEC Western Division showdown, but the weather will play a big factor in the outcome of today's game. It has been raining pretty much all morning, and it is expected to continue throughout the afternoon. And I'm not talking about a drizzle. It has been pouring here in Oxford, Mississippi. We shall see how that will play out this afternoon. But what is playing out right now is the SEC Western Division standings. And Auburn, the only undefeated team left in the SEC West, but they have a big test tonight against Florida. Then there's Alabama and Ole Miss with 1 loss apiece in the league, and this should be a big game in determining who will stay in the hunt for a berth in the December 8th SEC title game. My partner, Dave Rowe, once again with us here in the booth, and Dave, obviously weather's going to play a big part in this game. My question is, how will that affect somebody like Eli Manning, who's been off to such a great start as a sophomore QB?
3 different ways. The wind is one factor, the wet field is another one, and the rain. All those elements figure into whether it's going to be a passing game or not. But in a wet field, realize this, the wide receivers know where they're going, the defensive backs do not.
We expected Eli to get off to a good start, but I think he might have taken it to another level, Dave.
Absolutely. You know, many times quarterbacks have that go-to guy. With Manning, it could be anybody. He throws there to Chris Collins. It's different types of throws. He found 11 different receivers this season, 9 last week. You see different types of passes. He can throw a dart. He can throw a strike. He can throw with just that little touch. And sometimes, Dave, when you have a good pass, it's a little short dump pass, but it's a great run by a great receiver.
Well, Eli Manning has thrown for over 1,000 yards, the quickest quarterback at Ole Miss to throw for 1,000 yards. And while he is chasing some records, how about Tyler Watts at Alabama? He, too, chasing numerous records in terms of running the football. This guy has been awesome.
Oh, he has been, and with Tyler Watts this season, we've seen the rebirth of the quarterback option. Now, there's several ingredients that you have to have. Smart, durable quarterback that can read blocks on the run, a quick running back that comes along and stays. He's disciplined to stay with the play. Manning reads the linebacker, tosses, you see Galloway scamper in the end zone. On the second type of option, it's the quarterback that runs. Again, the same elements. You reverse out. You come down along the line. You'll see Watts here. Reverse out, come along the line, read the linebacker. There's no force there. He sees the alley, bang, he just darts up in there, and Galloway stays with his discipline.
Me, I like to see the quarterback have to toss the ball.
Well, it's working for Alabama. They scored 4 touchdowns in the first 3 games. They've scored 12 in the last 2. The test will be for that Ole Miss defense. We'll have the kickoff next.
The BMW 5 Series. Test drive the ultimate driving machine at your local BMW center.
On the next Everybody Loves Raymond, Robert is in a funk.
Your father's trying everything to get him to snap out of it.
What's he doing?
He's yelling, snap out of it.
When Ray tries to bond with his big brother, will it be more than he can handle?
Did you feel that you had to sleep with Deborah to see whether or not you were really in love with her?
On the next Everybody Loves Raymond.
Monday night at 7:30 on WB 53.
She called because she got tired of hassling with her contacts. He called because, well, his glasses just got in the way. She called because she wanted to know more about the surgery. He called because of their outstanding reputation. They all called to learn more about LASIK laser vision correction. The Chattanooga Eye Institute. Shouldn't you call for your free video? Call 892-EYES.
SEC football is being brought to you by Alltel. Alltel Total Freedom plans give you nationwide calling with no roaming or long-distance charges. By BMW. Visit your local BMW center for a test drive. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. By Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. By Ice House. You've got style all your own. Ice House style. Enjoy. By Pizza Hut. So much variety, the best pizzas under one roof. By Choice Hotels International, the power of being there. Go. And by Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there.
It will be soggy at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium for Ole Miss at 3-1 and Alabama at 3-2. Alabama wins the toss. They deferred to the second half, but they will kick off here. Ole Miss will receive the football. Lane Bearden to kick off for the Crimson Tide. Back to receive Chris Collins and Jason Armstead, two guys that certainly have had some success returning kickoffs. Armstead's already taken one back for a touchdown. That sails about 5 yards deep into the end zone. A knee there by Armstead, and Ole Miss will take over at the 20. The third member, as always, of our team, Charles Davis, he's down on the field. Charles, stay dry, but what's going on?
Hey, no way I can stay dry today, Dave. You guys have talked about the weather. Bigger story of the field conditions. This field does drain through the field about 8 to 10 inches of water per hour. Just talked with Jamie Armstrong, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. He expects the field to be solid and good today. They're ready to go. And in side view, we'll look at the Alabama option game and Terrence Metcalf, the offensive tackle for Ole Miss.
There's big Terrence Metcalf, the All-American. Could be one of the first linemen taken in the upcoming NFL draft. Eli Manning behind center. Little handoff. It's maybe a yard. It goes to Joe Gunn, the senior from Armory, Mississippi. Let's take a look at our Chevy offensive starting lineup for the Ole Miss Rebels. Chris Collins, 5th in the Southeastern Conference. He's had a couple of huge games for Eli Manning. Up front, we talked about Terrence Metcalf. This group has potential to be good. They've made some mistakes. They need to batten down the hatches today against a good Alabama front four. And the numbers from Eli Manning say it all. 10 touchdowns, 1 interception.
That is incredible. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see him just come out and toss the ball. They're trying to establish the run, but wow, look at that. Woo!
Joe Gunn picks up the first down over the 30, a gain of 13.
You know, one of the elements that we talked about, Dave, and Charles has mentioned it too, is the weather, obviously, but one of the elements of the weather is the wind. There is no wind. So what do? Keep it on the ground. Look at this good block right here. Actually, Rashid just missed the tackle. Again, they talked about that footing being solid. When you play on a wet field, you have a little tendency to get happy feet. You don't cut real hard off your steps.
First down and 10 from the 34. Little play action. Manning throws his first pass of the day. Bobbled and dropped. Chris Collins, the intended receiver. Here's our Chevy Alabama starting defense. Up front, Kendall Moorhead, Aries Monroe, Jarrett Johnson, Kenny King. Those four have been there every game for the Crimson Tide. Linebacker Salim Rashid getting better every game, and that's hard to say because he is good to start with. And the secondary's taken a few knocks of late, so they could be tested here today. Wayne Bacon, the walk-on, starting at one of the safety spots. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Manning to throw again. Has his receiver at midfield. It's caught there by Collins. Collins inside the 30. He's run out of bounds at the 27 by Charles Jones, and that'll be an Ole Miss first down. A gain of 38.
Unbelievable play right here. You're going to see a little pump fake action right in there. Now, right there, and he just freezes the corner up tight, and then he doesn't have time for the safety to come over. That's Bacon to come over in the coverage. Deep coverage coming over, trying to get that safety help, and Eli Manning read it well.
17 yards a catch for Chris Collins. Ball rest at the 28, the I formation. Stackhouse the fullback, Gunn the tailback, and Gunn goes nowhere. Brooks Daniels out of Jasper, Florida, a sophomore on the stop for the Crimson Tide.
Boy, and Daniels is a good person out there at that weak linebacker. He's small, 6'2", about 200 pounds, but he's got those quick legs and gets up in the hole, and that's what they're going to need all day because they'll open holes at the line of scrimmage. Big question for Alabama is Rashid, Daniels, and of course Wortham going to step up into him and make the tackles?
Dave, they're all small at that linebacker.
Yeah.
Small and fast. 200, 225, 215 across the middle three for the Crimson Tide, but they cover a lot of territory. 2nd and 10. Manning under pressure, sacked. Back at the 37-yard line. Jarrett Johnson, the first one in on the play, his 3rd sack this year, and surprising because Ole Miss doesn't give up many sacks.
Absolutely. This is just determination. He had plenty of time back there. He just held the ball too long. And Jarrett Johnson, number 96, never quit. Kept on working. Right of your screen right there. You're going to see him right in there. Look at him just keep on working. And you never know when that quarterback's got to pull that ball down. He did, and it's a sack.
Carl Torbush, the defensive coordinator, the last 2 games, he's been down on the sidelines as opposed to up in the coach's box. But he likes it down there. Manning rolls out on 3rd and 17. Fires near side. Pass is intended for Omar Rayford. Coverage by Gerald Dixon.
And you know, we talked about the weather a little bit, Dave. I wonder if that ball slipped out of his hand. That just never looked like it came off his hand well. Look right there. Does the ball slip a little bit? Right on the fingertips.
Charles, what do you have?
You know, you talk about that drop ball. In weather like this, guys will tend to try and body catch the ball more than they will hand catch it because they're afraid the ball will slip through. Oftentimes, if you're used to hand catch and you try and body catch, that just throws you off anyway. That was a catchable ball, but I think the receiver got caught. He was a little indecisive about which way to go.
Ole Miss going for it on 4th and 17. 4 receivers in the game. Ole Miss has only attempted 1 field goal all season long. The weather conditions not conducive to a lengthy field goal today, so Coach Cutcliffe feels like, what the heck?
Well, I think one of the things they tried to do, they came out when they have a freeze count. Well, they try to do that hard count to draw them off sides. They took a delay of game. They're taking a 5-yard penalty.
Delay of the game against the offense. The 25-second clock expired. Still 4th down.
Rogers Redding, our referee today. They will bring in the punter Cody Ridgway now. Antonio Carter back to return the punt. Antonio getting a few looks as a punt returner. Freddie Millens will also take a few.
And Dave, this is where you don't want to punt it into the end zone. Go for the corner.
Flag down. Air catch signal for by Carter. He takes it at the 14, but we'll wait a moment and see what the flag is all about. A 26-yard kick by Ridgway.
Looks like it's going to be an illegal formation or some motion on the line for Ole Miss. You know, if I'm Alabama, I might make them punt it over. I've got the ball on the 14-yard line. Might make them punt it over.
We have an illegal formation against the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Alabama will have the ball. 1st down.
One big play by Eli Manning didn't work out. Ole Miss gives up the football to Bama.
3,300 choice hotels in the U.S. and the Caribbean. Just want to thank everyone for traveling again and getting back to experiencing the power of being there.
The 3-pint breakup. So you finally dumped him.
There's one brand of truck strong enough to carry the American spirit. Chevrolet. And right now, get 0% financing on every new truck we build. Silverado, Tahoe, Suburban, Trailblazer. The trucks behind a country that never quits. And you can drive one home today, interest-free. Keep America rolling. See your local Chevy dealer today.
What good is a bank on every corner if you can't get what you need when you want it? Frustrating. There's a bank that understands, helping you easily get to your money by phone, online, in supermarkets, and through even more ATMs. What you do with it after that is completely up to you. How can SunTrust help you?
Tyler Watts comes onto the football field to lead Alabama on their first drive today against the Ole Miss Rebels. And Tyler Watts has been awesome, averaging 5.8 yards per carry. Last 2 games, he's amassed 263 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns on the ground. But they will throw it out of the gates. First pass incomplete, intended for his tight end, Terry Jones Jr. Here's our Alabama Chevy starting offensive lineup. Millens last week set the Alabama career reception mark with his 135th catch. Ahmad Galloway, Donnie Lau, Antonio Carter, Terry Jones. Up front, Wesley Britt is a guy to keep an eye on. Wesley just one of 3 redshirt freshmen now in the lineup. Evan Mathis, has stepped up in place of Dante Ellington. Those are the numbers for Tyler Watts. 64% completion rate. We saw him 2 weeks ago against South Carolina, and what a performance he put on. But what a performance by Eddie Strong, the junior linebacker. Read it well, a loss of 3.
Well, Eddie Strong, number 1, is going to step up, and it looks right off the bat you think Ole Miss is going to make Tyler Watts pitch the ball. You see, that's how you bring your linebacker up. Bang, he just comes up and grabs him and throws him down. Play along the line, and he doesn't even see number 1 come into the picture. That's the way you protect an option. You make them pitch it, and then you hope for that help outside. But first things first.
Third down, Watts to throw. Over the top, has his man. First down, Alabama. Antonio Carter with a big catch. Antonio with 15 receptions. He has 89 in his career now. He's moving up the charts as well, a gain of 18.
Well, this is a perfect pass. Look at the touch. He just kind of puts it just over top of the defense, drops it in there just perfect. And that's what you get when you get a mobile quarterback. He runs out of the huddle, comes out of the pocket, looks downfield, has a little bit more time, and Carter makes him pay with a big catch.
Couple of tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Set back is Galloway. And he gets the handoff. Ahmad over the 35. Gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the play. Tackle made by Corey Robinson and Charlie Anderson. Here's our Ole Miss defensive lineup. Anthony Sims with 28 tackles this season. Not a big defensive group overall, but these guys are pretty good. Lanier Gothe's been great this season. 38 tackles, leads the team. And Seneca Taylor leads the SEC among active players with 9 interceptions. He has 2 this year, but he's banged up with sore ribs. Anxious to see how he will play the run today. Here's Watts giving him a chance. Watts, first down, Alabama. Now near the 44-yard line. Gain of 8.
And you see that time they didn't make the quarterback pitch the ball. He runs along the line, he reads that little seam, and that's what Tyler Watts does so well. When he comes down that line, Dave, he's looking to the inside, and when he sees that little seam, he knows he's got plus yardage. He's durable, he's tough, he's flexible, he's got a lot of great qualities.
First down and 10 for the Crimson Tide. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers in the game. Handoff goes. Santonio Beard, the sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee. Santonio had 51 yards on 7 carries last week against Texas El Paso. Has 114 yards this year. Dennis Franchione discussing his options on that Alabama sideline.
Well, I can tell you, options in that defensive huddle, you've got to make a stand. You've got to make them turn the football over. You can't allow Alabama to come out and move that football down and just grind it down. They need somebody to step up. They've got some good players. Strong, number 1. Number 2, Goethe. They've got people that can make that play. They just need to do it.
Jones and Sanders, the 2 tight ends in the game. Collins in motion. Watts will roll to the near side. Fire. Collins dropped it. Hit him in the chest, and he dropped it at the 42 of Ole Miss. That would have been a first down.
Boy, and that's not what you like to see from your wide receivers, dropping the football. You know, sometimes weather plays a bigger mental factor than it actually is. They dry the ball out in between the plays, and everybody's saying, oh, the ball's wet, it's going to be slippery. And those wide receivers try to catch it, as Charles mentioned, against their body, or they try to hard-hand it, just squeeze it when it comes in and it bounces off.
3rd down and 7. Millens and Carter, your 2 receivers on the near side. Millens, pass is caught. First down, Alabama at the 41. And Millens, with his 136th career reception at Alabama, picks up 11.
Well, when you get man-to-man coverage, you can do things like crossing patterns. Watch this. They wait for Millens to come out here, and he digs hard to the outside, and he's clear. Just an underneath cut. It's almost like a basketball pick, except you don't run into the player. He just scrapes off his own.
Charles, from up here, as much as it's been raining, it looks as though that field's holding up pretty well.
This field is holding up very well, Dave, and you notice Freddie Millens had no trouble cutting on that last play, did he? Everybody talks about the wind. The wind may be helping dry out the field as the game goes along.
Collins in motion. Here's the option. Watts will pitch it to Galloway. He turns the corner, gets inside the 30. That'll be close to a first down. Justin Coleman runs out of bounds.
Boy, Dave, and that time Tyler Watts did something really interesting. He came along and he's reading the defensive end, number 85. 85 is right up there. Watch him come along. Now watch, he's reading it. Now watch, he still reads it. And again, he makes him commit to the quarterback. He commits, bang, he pushes it out there. He's around the outside. That's what you have to do. You have to read that force play. Nobody outside to help.
Nice drive by the Crimson Tide to start the game. Watts backpedals under pressure. Fires looking for Terry Jones. He slides in the muck at the 20. Incomplete. Pressure came from Kenny Jackson right up the middle.
Well, a lot of water over in that section on the play. That was going to be a reverse with a drag. Your tight end comes across the field almost against the flow. Watts has got good mobility. Boy, you know, I like that in a quarterback, and that's what Watts does. He can move around back there. He's got the ability to dart up inside and run the football when he has to. Strong quarterback makes good decisions.
10th play coming up on this drive, which started at the Alabama 14. 2nd down and 10. Watts has a seam. Watts inside the 20. Watts inside the 10. Run out of bounds at the 6-yard line by Eric Oliver, the true freshman out of Jasper, Alabama. A gain of 22 for Tyler.
Well, if you're going to defend the option, you've got to, again, make the quarterback see right in here. Now he pulls the football down. There's nobody coming from the inside. There's no safety coming up to make the force play. You have corner force, safety force. Got to get somebody in his face. Boy, and he ate him alive 2 weeks ago, and he's doing it again today.
1st and goal at the 6th in the red zone last week. Alabama was 8 for 8 with 8 touchdowns. Can they make it 9 for 9? They do. Ahmad Galloway from 6 yards out, and Alabama opens up with a very impressive touchdown drive.
A great decision there by Galloway. He gets that football. He sees the little pylon in the corner, and he says, hey, I can beat the corner to the corner. And he does. He just turns on the gas. Watch this when he gets right in here. He sees that now. He just puts his head down and runs to the corner.
The third rushing touchdown of the year for Ahmad Galloway. And Neil Thomas will come in for the point after. He's 17 of 17 this year, 8 of 8 last week. And it's good. So Alabama goes 86 yards in 12 plays. Ahmad Galloway, 29th in Alabama rushing history, leads Alabama to a 7-0 lead. We'll be back after a word from your local station.
On the WB's New Tuesday, after an all-new Gilmore Girls, the most anticipated drama of the season. A small town on the edge of innocence. A young man on the threshold of destiny.
We wanted to protect you. Protect me from what? Clark. You okay?
The world premiere of Smallville, after an all-new Gilmore Girls.
Tuesday night at 9 on WB 53.
What do you do when your cash is low and you need groceries?
Check into cash.
What's check into cash? It's a remarkable place to get instant emergency cash for a flat fee.
Anytime you have an unexpected expense and need a payday advance, Check into Cash can make it happen. You write us a personal check and you get the cash you need instantly.
My checking account's low. I can't get what we need.
Go to Check into Cash.
The next time you need quick cash, for whatever reason, go to Check into Cash.
Acme Rent-A-Car?
Yeah, hello, I need to rent a car.
Okay, we'll just need your driver's license, 2 major credit cards, your birth certificate, 3 personal references, your high school transcripts, and a note from your mother. Then you'll need to fill out some insurance forms.
Does it seem like renting a car is getting a little too complicated?
And we'll review your bank statements and tax records to see...
At Donna's Rent-A-Car, we keep it simple. If you're over 21, have a valid driver's license, and a job, Donna can have you behind the wheel in no time. Donna's Rent-A-Car. We rent for less.
Fridays this fall. This is Reba. This is her daughter. And that...
We thought you could only get pregnant one day a month.
What? That would be the boyfriend who got her pregnant.
Sorry, Coach. Shake it off. Big game Saturday.
Let's review. Responsible mom, daughter, mother's worst nightmare come true.
I'm gonna get you a real ring someday. My grandmother can't live forever.
I'm not far behind.
Reba McEntire is Reba.
Friday night at 9 on WB 53.
Alabama jumps out to a quick 7-0 lead over the Ole Miss Rebels as the rain has subsided momentarily here in Oxford. Didn't affect Alabama's drive whatsoever as they go 86 yards. Lane Bearden, who was a target by South Carolina return teams last week, not a target as in illegal play, but they wanted to block the kicker. They did. Give him a wake-up call, but Lane answered back quite nicely. This kickoff drops down at the 10. It's taken by Collins, and he takes it out to the 27-yard line. A return of 17. Next weekend, we will travel to Athens, Georgia, and check out the Georgia Bulldogs as they will host the Kentucky Wildcats. It's been a long time since Kentucky has won up in Athens, Georgia. They will give it a shot next Saturday, 12:30 Eastern. 11:30 Central. Georgia with the huge win last weekend will try to keep that momentum going. They have to go to Nashville, play Vanderbilt today. Vanderbilt's a team, Dave, that might be able to give them some problems.
Well, they certainly gave Alabama all they could handle in that game they played a few weeks ago.
1st and 10 from the 27. Eli checking at the line of scrimmage. And a timeout taking by Ole Miss. And Manning will come to the sidelines, chat with his head coach,
Their first time out of the
Cutcliffe. We'll come back to Oxford after this message from Advanced Auto Parts.
New batteries. Liquid wrench. Autocraft battery cables. AC Delco alternators. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
You know, we can give you a free installation if you like. Sure.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
This season, SEC tailgating won't be complete without first visiting one of your local Hibbett sports stores. Here you'll find the brand new 2001 SEC collection and a money savings offer from Golden Flake. Whenever you purchase a 12 1/4 ounce bag of Golden Flake thin and crispy chips, you'll receive a coupon worth 20% off any SEC collection item. And when you buy collection merchandise, you'll get a coupon for buy one, get one free off Golden Flake's Mazitos brand tortilla chips. It's a win-win when you're wearing the SEC collection.
The man in the house pizza. That's right. You take the recliner. My man G. My man Miles. That's all you brought? Green chair.
So I had the green chair last time.
You brought that sorry dip last time.
Oh, see, that's cold. That's
game started? Hey, sweet pea. No beer, no nothing? I forgot. No entry. Look like your grandmother.
Pay-per-view. Ice House style. We make the smooth, never watered down taste of Ice House for guys like you.
Oh, you just locked the recliner, B-Dog.
For 90 years, we've kept Americans moving. And there's no reason to stop now. Chevrolet. Right now, get 0% financing on every new car we build. Malibu, Cavalier, Impala. The cars behind a nation that never slows down. And you can own one, interest-free. Keep America rolling. See your local Chevy dealer today. We'll be there.
We're back in Oxford, Mississippi, Vaught Hemingway Stadium. The Ole Miss Rebels had to call a timeout. Kind of a strange timeout. First play after returning the kickoff. Saw an alignment, didn't like it, used a timeout.
Yeah, you don't want to take a 5-yard penalty in that situation, but really an important series for Eli Manning. Get your offense going. He had a little bit of success. He bogged down. Just keep that success going. Go back to Joe Gunn. Maybe use Stackhouse a little bit more.
High formation, Gunn the tailback, Stackhouse the fullback. The handoff goes to Joe Gunn. He gets maybe a yard on that front four of Alabama.
Well, you know, I really like Terrence Metcalf, number 79. Big man out there. Little turnout now. Come inside, get the linebacker, push him down inside. He's got great agility. He's got those big feet, but they move quick. You mentioned, Dave, in the opening, he might be a #1 draft choice. He's that good.
He's only given up 1 sack in 2.5 seasons. That is incredible. 5 defensive backs, the nickel package for the Crimson Tide. 4-man rush. Manning to throw. Pass is batted down at the 38-yard line by Roberto McBride, the sophomore out of Lakeland, Florida.
Boy, and I don't know how you keep Roberto McBride off the field. They really like his play. Just a sophomore, but that's one-on-one coverage, and he knocks the ball away.
The nickelback came in the game, made a big play. McBride, an interesting story. He actually quit school in the spring because things weren't going well. He was 6th among quarterbacks, went to San Francisco Community College, went on their facilities, hated it, thought it was like a parking lot, begged to come back. The coaches made him work his tail off, but accepted him back and gave him his scholarship. Salim Rashid had it in his hands. Eli Manning with what could be one of his worst passes he's thrown this year.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We talk about Eli Manning and his vision. He never sees number 11, Salim Rashid, drop out in the flat here. He kind of fakes right there, but he throws it right to number 11. Look at that. It's in his hands. And he did what a lot of defensive players do, knock it down. Boy, he's a special player. Rashid is, he is just a special player.
Manning 1 of 5 for 39 yards after 2 drives. Cody Ridgeway to punt it. Antonio Carter back to return the kick. This is a good one. Carter goes back inside his 20, will return it. Carter to the 27-yard line. That is where he is brought down on a 54-yard punt. Well, Tyler Watts was very instrumental, Dave, in bringing the Crimson Tide 86 yards for a touchdown on that first drive.
Oh, he certainly was. They stopped in the first one. Eddie Strong came up and made a stop, but now make him commit, toss it out to Galloway, let him get his yards. You see that inside seam, put the ball away and run for the first down. Interesting, you see him switch the ball from right hand to left hand. That's what a lot of running backs do when they switch it to the outside, so that if you're running along, it gets knocked out of bounds. But good choices, good decisions on all 3.
Donnie Lau, the fullback, hit by Corey Robinson. Eli Manning trying to figure it out with his receiving cores. One completion. It was a big one, though. It went for 39 yards, but it doesn't look like they're in any kind of rhythm offensively right now.
No, that's what quarterbacks get in. They get in that rhythm where, and that's why a lot of coaches will make your quarterbacks throw that little quick dump pass so they get confidence. He just doesn't seem to have it right now. But he's somebody that we saw in that Auburn game, Dave, who just turned it on in the second half.
Yeah, you talk about confidence. Tyler Watts has a bunch of it right now. He will fire. Flag down. Ball back in the air, caught by the tight end. Still on his feet is Terry Jones. Terry Jones down to the 31 of Ole Miss. What a catch and run, but a flag down at the 40. The ball was batted in the air by Seneca Taylor and fell right into Terry Jones's hands, a gain of 39.
Well, everyone's holding their breath here because they're hoping it's against Alabama. If it is, it comes back. If not, it's a completed pass.
We have holding against the defense. The penalties declined on the completed pass. First down.
And Dave, you talk about big tight ends, and Terry Jones is just that. 6'4", 200, about 265 pounds. He's not the intended receiver. Look, the ball goes up. There it is. Now watch once he gets the ball. He runs out of arms. Again, there's the ball. Now he just runs away from people. You're not going to arm tackle him. Don't try to roll block him. Look at those legs. Man, that's a tight end.
6th catch of the year for Terry Jones. Has yet to get a TD this season. Galloway on the carry, gets a couple of yards. Terry Jones, of course, the son of strength coach at Alabama. Dave, you know, he got hurt a year ago and missed the last half of the season. But an interesting note, he wears a rubber band on his wrist for good luck. He didn't wear a rubber band in 2 games in his football career, and in both of those games, he suffered severe injuries.
Well, if I was coach, I'd buy him a box of rubber bands. I can promise you that.
Here's a handoff to Galloway. Gets another couple of yards. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4 or 5 yards. Charlie Anderson on the stop. Charlie, the sophomore out of Jackson, Mississippi, had a big game last week. Career numbers with 8 total tackles and a couple of sacks for Charlie.
Now, if you're in Alabama's huddle right now, you're playing smash mouth. You're just saying, hey, let's see if we can just run it down their throat. Get those big freshmen over there. They've got 3 on that front line. Drive, block off. They've got Watts on that option. They've got a lot of picks right now.
Santonio Beard checks in at the tailback spot. Donnie Lau is the fullback. 3rd and 2. Alabama 2 of 2 and 3rd down conversions today. Watch the throw. Looking for his tight end. Pass ball's incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Looking for Jones. Hutchins on the coverage.
Oh, it's good coverage there. Good coverage by Hutchins. Now Jones comes off the ball. Watch this big man. Comes off. He's a big target as he comes crossing right here. Almost slips down, but now he's a big man. But look at the hand come in there. You see Von Hutchins just reaching there, didn't put his hand up on the back. But, boy, when you're 6'4", that's a great target for a quarterback.
So Neil Thomas will come in. 9 of 11. Long of this season is 36. This will be a 40-yard field goal attempt. 41. We'll give him 41. I'll give him the extra yard if he makes it. And it's no good. No good.
Oh.
And Neil Thomas is fuming mad.
Boy, Thomas started after the officials. He ran down. Well, you know, the official waited till just the last second. They looked straight up the pole. Now watch when the officials, you see him standing in the background there, he's going to look right up the pole. You can see when it crosses the goal line, the officials look right there. There he is. No way. It's no good. Look at Thomas.
Well, I got to tell you, we have a horrible angle here. It's hard for us to tell about field goals, but those guys stand right underneath the uprights as Joe Gunn gets the carry. So who are we to argue with them?
Well, it's a tough call, and you're exactly right.
Tim Brando would argue.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he did. I've been with him. And you were very diplomatic. I am proud of you. But the official's looking right up the pole. He knows exactly when it crosses the goalpost, and he makes the call.
There's our Pizza Hut scoreboard. We saw Miami jumping all over Florida State. NC State up by a touchdown over Clemson. 2nd down and 8. 4 wideouts in the game. The shotgun for Manning. Pressure coming. Little shovel pass to Stackhouse, who spins and turns his way to the 33-yard line. That'll be about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 shy of the first down. Anthony Bryant and Cornelius Wortham on the stop for the Tide.
Boy, I like that one when Stackhouse put his head down. He's going to, that's best against best. Stackhouse just puts his head down. He rams into Salim Rashid. He picks up the yards.
Big third down, I think, Dave, for Ole Miss. They haven't had any momentum other than one big play on their first drive. They'd hate to turn this over. They're 0 for 2 on third down conversions this afternoon. 3rd and 1. Handoff goes to Sanford, who's their short yardage back, and I don't know if he got it.
Boy, I don't either. There was no hole there. All of a sudden, he just thought he was going to dart outside, but he came back in. There wasn't much of a hole there. They were behind Metcalf and Buckles. That's the strength of that big offensive line. The big man there, number 79 and 62, but there was not much yard there. It looked like he had to make about the 34-yard line. Again, no place to go.
They'll bring the sticks in, but from that angle, it appeared as though he did not make it.
Ooh, I think he did.
Oh, boy!
Oh. Everybody in our truck saying late call by road. That doesn't count.
Yeah, he saw it.
I know.
Come on. 1st and 10, new set of downs for the Rebels. This Ole Miss offense has been putting up some good numbers this year. They've scored 147 points through their first 4 games, which is the most in their modern era going back to the 40s. But today, they've been held to a goose egg so far in the first quarter. Manning's pass is complete to the near side. It goes to Chris Collins, the sophomore from Liberty, Mississippi. Tackle made by Brooks Daniels and Roberto McBride.
And Dave, when you've got speed, you can drive them off the line, and that's what number 8, Chris Collins, does. Comes off the line. Look at the defensive given now, just out quick. Nice target ball, well thrown, just to his outside. Now all of a sudden you start to see that little flow, that little connection between the quarterback and his wide receivers. Maybe they can put it together.
Ole Miss 2nd in the SEC in scoring points, 36.8 per game. Only Florida better than the Rebels. But today has been a little bit of a struggle to this point. Manning, quick drop. Pass is complete to Jamie Armstrong.
Pass complete to number 7, Jamie Armstrong.
When you've got 2 wide receivers that can catch those little darts, that was a good one.
When you're on the road to watch SEC football this season, plan on eating at Huddle House, where you can order their big house breakfast and lunch platters anytime, 24 hours a day. Manning started 1 of 5, but he's since connected on 3 straight. High formation for Ole Miss. And Marcus Johnson, one of the Johnson brothers up front, jumps off sides. The redshirt freshman out of Coffeyville, Mississippi.
And boy, don't you, if you're an offensive lineman, you really hate to come over to the sideline, because then the coach calls you over here.
Movement in the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Coach takes him out and says, go over and sit down and just think about it. I think that's obvious. I think that.
That'll move him back 5, 2nd and 9. Tight formation for Ole Miss. Manning to throw. Has his receiver. Collins. 1st down, Ole Miss. Herschel Bolden on the coverage.
Dave, are you getting the feeling? You getting the flow? Because Eli Manning's starting to get it. Passes are right there where it needs to be. That's a tough pass because it goes away from him. He has to throw it over his shoulder, and he does an excellent job.
First down for the Rebels.
No, I was just thinking, it turned out to be a beautiful day. We're talking about weather. Hey, let's hope it continues.
Why'd you say that?
Because Charles is down there on the sideline.
In motion, Stackhouse. Handoff goes to Sanford. He gets a couple. Brought down by Thurman Ward as the clock moves inside of 10 seconds here in the first quarter.
Oh, and we like yards after contact. Every coach talks about that. What happens after you get hit? Do you go down? No, you keep picking up, churning those yards.
So Alabama, with the only score in the first quarter, they march 86 yards. And Ahmad Galloway scores on a 6-yard touchdown run, his 3rd of the season. And Alabama leads by a touchdown in Oxford. We'll come back, have second quarter football in this classic SEC football showdown.
How a count eats a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I like to eat the peanut butter first.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
The over 3,300 choice hotels in the U.S. and the Caribbean just want to thank everyone for traveling again and getting back to experiencing the power of being there.
BMW 5 Series.
Test drive the ultimate driving machine at your local BMW center.
I left the truck unlocked. No, his ears were a bit bigger and the nose was longer. Next thing I knew, the truck was gone.
This him, sir?
Yeah, that's him. That's the guy.
Can't get enough peanuts? Get a Payday. Sweet caramel and tons of salty peanuts.
Beverly Hills.
With the store.
At Check into Cash, we turn your check into cash instantly. No, it's not magic. It's just what we do. Anytime you have an unexpected expense and need a payday advance, Check into Cash can make it happen. At Check into Cash, you write us a personal check and you get the cash you need instantly. We'll hold your check up to 14 days. You can be in and out within minutes. The next time you need quick cash, for whatever reason, go to Check into Cash. It's quick, easy, and confidential.
Check into Cash with 8 area locations. Call 877-262-CASH. With 8 area locations. Call 877-262-CASH.
Welcome back to Vaught Hemingway Stadium. Alabama leads at 7-0. We begin the second quarter. Ole Miss second, down 8 from the Alabama 42. Eli Manning off to a slow start, but has since connected on 4 straight passes. Alabama with 6 in the box. Here comes some pressure. Manning gets it away in a hurry. Has his receiver. That's Collins. Collins breaks a couple of tackles. Excuse me, Armstead. Armstead down at the 3-yard line. That'll be a big first down for the Ole Miss Rebels. And Dave, you talked about it, in that it's nice to be able to make a nice throw, but it's even better when you have receivers that can break some tackles. And Armstead did that as he gained 39.
Absolutely. Look at that plant. He'd come back inside, making people miss. Now set up a blocker right in here, and all of a sudden you dart to the outside. He uses his blockers. Good catch right there. And how about Eli Manning? You talked about him getting a slow start. He's anything but slow now. And that time he read a full-out blitz by Alabama. They were bringing heat on him.
And the crowd on their feet. It has been a long time since Ole Miss has had a chance to beat Alabama. We take a look at the Cat Rental first quarter stats. Not much rushing from the Ole Miss Rebels. Time of possession dominated by Ole Miss. 8 1/4. But after 1 quarter of play, Dave, the only points go right to the Crimson Tide.
And it's good to see, you know, if you're a quarterback, you get in that little feel. Armstead comes up with a big one. Collins has got 3 catches. So you just get in that flow. And that's interesting because a lot of quarterbacks they just aren't in the flow, and a lot of them will panic. Not Eli Manning.
Manning earlier this year in the opening game against Murray State completed 18 straight passes. third in the SEC, sixth all-time. Tennessee's T. Martin a few years back hit on 24 straight. 24 straight complete. That is unbelievable.
Well, that's hard to do just in practice when you don't have anybody running after you.
We mentioned Alabama's prowess in the red zone the last couple of weeks. Ole Miss has been that way all season long. 15 touchdowns and 7 red zone opportunities. A couple of tight ends. Handoff goes to Stackhouse, and he stood up right there at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, you talk about a stack. That was a stack right in there. You had a lot of big people coming in there. I saw Brooks Daniels come in there, number 18. This is right on the line right there. Bryant's going to come in there. Daniels, they just stick him in the middle. Look at the number of plays. And when he goes down, he's going back. You see him just driving him back? This is kind of where you establish your territory. Big man on big man, nothing fancy. Who's going to win?
Red formation for the Rebels. Shotgun on 2nd and goal from the 3. Over the middle, pass is incomplete. A flag comes down in the end zone, intended for Chris Collins. Gerald Dixon on the coverage.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Dixon was draped on him with that off arm. He was behind him, a little dart inside to the post, and I think he had that back arm around the waist.
Yeah, pass interference against the defense. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Ole Miss now with 4 cracks at it from the 2.
Look in the right of your screen. You see the right arm? The right arm is around his waist. He reaches in with the left arm. That's not where the penalty's called. The penalty's called with the backside arm.
680 pounds in the backfield for Ole Miss. Handoff goes to Stackhouse. He gets to the 1 and is run back there. Gerald Dixon among many Tide defenders in on the play. Salim Rashid and company tightening those chin straps. Let's check in with Charles.
Hey, I got a question. Big Dave Rowe is a defensive lineman. Is it important for Ole Miss to punch it in here on a running play? Would that change the mindset of Alabama's defense if they can't punch it in running it?
I think first, Charles, they have to score. If they don't score, that's huge. But punching it in, that sure would be nice. I think they should have gone a little bit wider.
Sanford, nowhere to go.
Wow.
Salim Rashid and Reggie Miles lead the way, and the Tide defenders are fired up on the goal line.
I can't believe they didn't go wide again. They've got Sanford with the speed, and he goes inside. This is just big man on big man. Big crunch in the middle. Who's going to win? Look at that. Over top. You see Rashid come over top. Miles coming in there. They're just burrowing down under there. There's nowhere to go. Look at him in there. Look at Rashid come over top. Go wide.
Oh, no. They get him the touchdown.
Oh, wow.
Torrance Sanford. Kenny King thought he had him. The Alabama defense looking around, but Ole Miss punches it in on 3rd and goal from the 1.
And that was only second effort. Watch right here. He's not in there. Look at him just reaching in there, digging, and right there he breaks the plane. He wasn't down. That's that second effort.
The 6th rushing touchdown for Sanford, 7th overall. Jonathan Nichols with the point after. It's up and good. So a drive that lasted 13 plays, 76 yards, capped off by Sanford's touchdown, has tied the ball game. We will come back to Oxford after this.
You have just completed the culminating training event into the United States Army. I want you to think about what it took to get here. This fire represents the soldiers who have completed basic training before you and those who are yet to come. You have what it takes to be a soldier in the greatest army of the world.
Log on and find out what it feels like. Only at GoArmy.com.
Turtle Wax. Grizzly Grill Guards. Rancho Shocks. gas cans. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
We need some help. We need a lot of help.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
There's one brand of truck strong enough to carry the American spirit. Chevrolet. And right now, get 0% financing on every new truck we build. Silverado, Tahoe, Suburban, Trailblazer. The trucks behind a country that never quits. And you can drive one home today, interest-free. Keep America rolling. See your local Chevy dealer today.
You know how much fun it is when it's 10 below and your furnace goes... About as much fun as sitting in your fridge naked. But Amana puts stainless steel heat exchangers inside their Air Command 95. Reliable? You bet if it fails for any reason, they'll give you a whole new furnace. Amana's built better than it has to be. You don't even have to save the box it came in. Call them up. Get a great Amana deal.
Feel the warmth of natural gas heat and save on your utility bills. Call your local Amana dealer today.
Ole Miss ties it up with Alabama at a touchdown apiece. 12:31 to go in the second quarter. Eli Manning with a big pass to Jason Armstead that set everything up. Now Alabama will try and respond. They had a lengthy drive to score their touchdown back in the first quarter. Kickoff sails through the end zone, and Alabama will take it at the 20. That drive took 13 plays, 76 yards, ate up 6.5 minutes. That's not uncommon in these parts. Ole Miss has the longest scoring drives of teams in this conference. They average 70-yard drives when they score a touchdown. A little over 8 plays per drive in 3.5 minutes. By contrast, Florida averages 4.9 plays, and they cover 44 yards.
And they're fast. You're right, and David Cutcliffe said it yesterday. He said, field position, we have had none. We're starting every drive from our own 20-yard line.
Watch pass batted down. Great play defensively by Ole Miss. Jermaine Landrum. And Ole Miss's defense has needed big plays all season long, and they haven't had many.
Well, that's a big play because it knocks down potential, and you get penetration on your quarterback and get him out of the flow. Ole Miss really needs to come out and make a stand. Their offense is just taking the ball and driven it. Their defense now needs to get it back while their quarterback's hot.
Watts, first down, Alabama.
Dave, I can tell you, I don't believe that's a designed play. He fakes the ball into the fullback coming across and then runs out all by himself and picks up the first down. Heads up quarterback play, but not by design.
Tyler Watts is the first Bama quarterback with back-to-back 100-yard passing and rushing games. The first one ever.
First one ever.
He has 42 yards rushing, 71 yards passing today. It's a couple there. Donnie Lau, the fullback, on the carry with a couple of yards. Eddie Strong met him in the hole. Eddie looking for a breakout game. You know, Dave, he missed all of last year with that stress fracture in his foot, set him back. They wanted to move him around. They had big plans for him last year. And it's taken him a couple of games to finally get in that mode that you have to be. Get that motor at the speed it needs to run.
Absolutely. They tried him in the middle. They said it's a lot of things going by him real quick. They said he's more comfortable on the outside.
Watts, hammered, passes, nearly picked off, caught by an Alabama player back at the 26. Mariko Portis, the left guard, ends up catching it. Kenny Jackson with the big hit.
But Dave, how did number 1 Eddie Strong miss this ball? Watch the hit. Boom. Now watch. Number 1's coming in. He's got it, right? He's a linebacker. And Eddie is all bunch of him. He's got it, right? Oh, mercy.
And Portis will be credited with a reception for -6 yards.
I think Eddie Strong saw those goalposts and just said, hey, there's nobody in front of me.
Goal lines and headline. 3rd down and 16. Watts has some time, fires, pass, behind his receiver, intended for Millens. Taylor on the coverage. That'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, and when Seneca Taylor turned around there, that ball was right there. He could have intercepted that. And listen to this crowd respond. Their defense has made a stop. Their offense is hot.
Taylor with bad ribs and all, wearing a flak jacket today, and hopes to keep those ribs from any more injury. Beard punts it away. Armstead fields it at the 37 and takes it out to the 45. A flag down at the 41, however, a punt of 37. And Rogers-Redding will let us know momentarily what the call is. Chris James made the stop for Alabama on the special teams.
When special teams coaches, they hate to see that yellow hanky come out on the play, especially when you almost break one and you're going to get great field position.
On the return, we have an illegal block in the back against the receiving team. The penalty will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
You talked about a breakout game. Eddie Strong's having a breakout game. If he could have intercepted that pass, he'd have broken out. But moving nicely to the ball. He makes good reads on the outside. Again, he protects one side rather than have the flash of everybody in front of him playing the middle position.
He had 13 tackles last week against Arkansas State. 4th penalty of the day for Ole Miss. Alabama has yet to be penalized, I believe, today, which is kind of surprising. They've been seeing a lot of yellow flags in their games this season. 51 times they've been flagged, but none today. Bobble handoff. Joe Gunn will get 3 or 4 on the play. Jared Johnson on the stop.
You can promise that when Joe Gunn comes back, he'll say, put that ball in the pocket. When you cradle that ball and you think that pocket, that quarterback's job is to stick it right in there. Joe Gunn made a good adjustment on the, as you said, a bobble.
Need to correct myself. Alabama's been penalized 1 time for 1 yard. So I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen. That was down that goal line on a pass interference call on Gerald Dixon. Manning over the middle to his tight end who dropped it. Doug Ziegler dropped it over the middle.
Oh, you got to catch those.
He's caught most of them. He has 8 receptions this year.
Got to catch this. This little tight end drag across the middle right there. Throw it to him now. Catch the football. Never puts it away. Of course, again, we talk about the wet field and everything, but they dry the balls off. They keep a good supply over there. Dry them off. It's not an advantage, you know, a real advantage, say, playing in the mud, so to speak.
Pressure coming. Manning has to just launch it for the sidelines. And he gets it away. Alabama wants intentional grounding, but won't get it. And actually, Rogers-Redding does throw it because Manning never left the pocket.
The pocket is tackle to tackle, straight back. He's got McBride in his face, and he doesn't run outside the pocket. He runs straight back. Even though he's 10, 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, he's still within the tackle-to-tackle box.
I saw that Alabama bench erupt when Manning just launched it toward their sideline because he rolled straight back as opposed to rolling outside of the tackle-to-tackle margin you talked about. And they will, but they must have said the pocket broke down. Here's Rogers-Redding.
There's no flag. The passer was outside the 5-yard zone. The ball went beyond the line of scrimmage. By rule, there is no intentional grounding.
Don't tell Carl Torbush that. Again, tackle to tackle. Does he get outside the box? Where's the hash? He throws past the line of scrimmage, which is part of it.
Right.
But it looked, as you said, Dave, I think you picked up on it rightly so. You see Carl Torbush, he didn't like it.
First punt was 52 yards by Ridgeway. Flags are down. Antonio Carter loses 5 or 6 yards on the return, but a flag down at the 42-yard line.
And how about your wide receiver, starting wide receiver Chris Collins covering kicks? He's one of their fastest guys, and he's covering. Now it's a post-kick foul. It's 4th down and about 9 yards. It's great to have those officials. They sit there, they talk it out, discuss what you saw.
Well, you know, one of the things that they tried to improve on, I guess, is Bobby Gaston, who supervises the officials for the Southeastern Conference, wanted his referees to be more boisterous in explaining calls this year.
We have holding against the receiving team before the return. This is post-scrimmage kick enforcement. The penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick, 10 yards, first down.
There you go. Rogers Redding explains it in detail. We have been trading some paint here in Oxford, Mississippi. We'll come back. Alabama with the ball. Back after a word from your local stations.
It's Bobby Baby Hulk Hill.
Oh. Go ahead, punch it.
Versus Killer Connie.
Take old playmate down hard and fast.
In a Texas death match.
What the hell is going on here? That's not Olympic-style wrestling.
It's a full Bobby Slam.
Nope, that's real wrestling.
On the next King of the Hill.
Monday night at 7 on WB 53.
I know, Mom. We're nearly unpacked. Yes, we've got a guest room. Well, you need to come see it. Tomorrow. No, that'll be fine, Mom.
Need some stuff for your home? Find it all at Southern Home Rentals. Brand name quality merchandise, easy payment plans, even same-day delivery. Southern Home Rentals. If you're renting from anyone else, you're paying too much.
Remember how you loved going to the local diner with your parents for an authentic French dip sandwich? No, you avoided going out with your parents. You were embarrassed by their matching sweatsuits. You must be thinking of Hardee's new authentic French dip sandwich. Roast beef carved to order, covered with Swiss cheese and piled high on a freshly baked roll. Perfect for dipping in our famous au jus sauce. Might want to take Mom and Dad through the drive-thru. Try Hardee's new French dip sandwich. Hardee's, the way food ought to be.
Alabama will take over at the 21-yard line. This was a sellout, but we have a few empty seats because some were a little scared by the weather, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
It's a beautiful autumnal afternoon.
$25 million going into end zone renovation as they will expand by a net of 12,000 seats next season. Galloway loses a yard, and his net yardage will be reduced by 1.
And Dave, one thing that you're seeing on Ole Miss's team, the enthusiasm they have. When they're making a tackle, there are a lot of guys swatting hands and swatting helmets around there. You want to see that. You don't want to burn up too much energy with it, but you want to see that enthusiasm.
At halftime, we'll be taking a look at the Alltel halftime stats, and Charles Davis will keep us abreast of what's happening around the Southeastern Conference today and the country as well. Ray Hudson, the redshirt freshman, in at tailback, and he'll take the delay handoff, and he'll lose a yard. Jesse Mitchell, the sophomore out of Moss Point, Mississippi, has made both plays. A good start for him.
It's called shedding blocks, getting rid of blocks, moving to the ball. You don't see many jerseys on the ground. They're using those hands, big strong moves, slide to the football. There's Don Lindsay, defensive coordinator. He's got to be happy.
He's on the left with the towel wrapped around his neck. 3rd down and 12 for the Tide. Beard and Galloway in the backfield. Watts in a shotgun. Tyler fires. pass is dropped by Antonio Carter. Watts now 3 of 10 for 71 yards. And Alabama will have to punt it away. And another good standing ovation by the Ole Miss crowd.
Well, you want enthusiasm, but you want your wideouts to catch a ball when it hits you in the hands. That's exactly what it did with Carter. Hit him right in the hands. He knows it. When you put those hands up like that, that was a perfectly thrown ball. Look at Watts. Let me go.
Lane Beard to punt it away. Rayford will let it drop, and Alabama will down it at the 46 of Ole Miss. A punt of 35 yards.
And interesting, on that series, Alabama, they kind of took away that option. They didn't run that option. They've had a lot of success with it, especially on that first drive of 80-some yards. But Manning's the one that's hot right now.
The Ole Miss Rebels, 4th in the SEC in total offense, 431 yards a game. Alabama came in 3rd, 433 yards per game in total offense. Manning fires over the middle, pass caught into Alabama territory. Manning now 7 of 13 for 117 yards. Charles, what's going on that Ole Miss sidelines?
Hey, you saw Jason Armstead earlier today make a great move and run after a catch. He got hit in the lower leg by a helmet in the last series. They've taped him up. He just told me he expects to go back in.
First down, Ole Miss. Sanford on the carry, down to the 37-yard line of Alabama.
When you can do different multiple offensive sets, you can pull a lot of strings, and this is one of the strings that they pull. On McKay Losher, they just misses a tackle, and they just burst up through the middle. You run the middle, keep them honest, keep them in tight, go wide, got your quarterback looking downfield. All the guns are working for Ole Miss.
Complete, intended for Collins. Manning and Collins didn't hook up. They weren't in sync. Collins hadn't even turned around when that ball went whizzing by his ear hole.
Yeah, when he turns around, you see the ball's already gone by him. He just gave up on the pattern, and that's not what you want to see. You run the pattern, you stay with it. I just think he didn't feel he was primary receiver, but you see him getting a talk to there. Don't quit on the pattern.
Stackhouse and Gunn, your running backs. In the I formation on 2nd and 10. Belton Johnson may have moved. His brother Marcus was hit with an offsides call earlier. We'll see if this is Belton.
Well, there's not much doubt. They won't say his name.
Dead ball foul. False start against the offense. Movement in the offensive line prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Here's our Pizza Hut scoreboard. Miami beating my alma mater, and that's painful. Oh, is that painful? Clemson tied it up with NC State, and UCLA in a big one out west. Lead by a touchdown. Sideline violation over there. Sideline warning, I should say. The next one will be a violation on that Alabama sideline. Players and coaches creeping up toward the field.
Dave, one of the players they brought in is Bill Flowers, number 84. He's at the top of your screen. They wanted to get him the ball a lot more. Just a freshman. They like his speed, so he's got great hands.
2nd down, 15. Big hole for Joe Gunn. Gerald Dixon finally brings him down. And Joe Gunn showing signs of the Joe Gunn of his sophomore campaign after the gain of 18.
Well, when you get a block like Charles Stackhouse did on Salim Rashid, boom, right there. Look, at turn him all the way inside. You can run that play when you got a fullback making blocks.
Joe Gunn just moves closer and closer to the top spot in the Ole Miss all-time career rushing chart. Moves up to 4th after that big carry of 18 yards. Manning throws a fade route, looking to the near side. Omar Rayford. Coverage on the play by Herschel Bolden. But Joe Gunn has been off to a little bit of a slow start here in his final campaign at Oxford. But over his career, he's been successful. He now has 2,144 career rushing yards, 4th all-time here at Ole Miss. Deuce McAllister, who's off in the NFL, over 3,000 yards. And Charles talked about in the pregame show, this is Joe's chance to really shine, to get away from the Deuce McAllister shadow. He takes the handoff, dances his way. That'll be a touchdown for Joe Gunn. 25 yards. Ole Miss leads it by a touchdown.
Untouched. Watch the cut he makes. Coming off about the 5-hole. Now he sees the block right there. He makes the cut back against the grain. You're not going to catch him from behind. Not Joe Gunn. Coming out, Day. Partner, he's out. He is ready.
Point after, up and good. And Ole Miss leads it by a touchdown. 6:22 to go in the second half. Joe Gunn. The coaches said he'd get a lot of touches today. That was his biggest.
The BMW 5 Series.
Test drive the ultimate driving machine at your local BMW center.
Okay, honey. How about this? I'm seeing a cabinet.
Are you seeing plumbing?
Imagine a big porch, a stone fireplace, plenty of room for the grandkids.
When you find yourself writing the story of your life, tell it to Jefferson Pilot Financial. We'll help make it happen.
My big painting of dancing bears?
No.
Aw.
You had me until the bear.
Come on.
Yo, man in the house here. Pizza. That's right. You take the recliner. My man G. My man Miles. That's all you brought? Green chair.
I had the green chair last
time. You brought
time.
that sorry dip last time.
Oh, see, that's cold. That's
game started? Hey, sweet pea. No beer, no nothing? I forgot. No entry. Look like your grandmother.
Pay-per-view. Ice House style. We make the smooth, never watered down taste of Ice House for guys like you.
Oh, you just lost the recliner, B-Dog.
Just announced. Special 0% financing on America's favorite 2001 and 2002 Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Nothing beats 0% financing. Choose from America's favorite vehicles. Drive home a Ford car, truck, or SUV with 0% financing. Nothing beats 0%, and nothing beats the money you'll save. See your local Ford dealer today for this limited time offer.
Joe Gunn gets it done with his legs, averaging 50 yards per game. Coming into this one, already has 62 yards on the ground. And a big 25-yard touchdown puts the Rebels up by a touchdown. Lee Rogers will kick it off for the Rebels. And this one sails into the end zone again. Millens without an opportunity to return it. So Alabama will come out and take over at the 20. But, Dave, let's go back to that touchdown. And the blocking here was pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Metcalf gets a great block right there. McAllister drops him outside. Now just come right back against the grain. But number 79, Metcalf, I should say Stackhouse, excuse me. It was Stackhouse got the block, but he allowed Gunn to just cut back against the grain. But Metcalf, line of scrimmage, just blowing them off, Dave.
They say Metcalf, for a big man, 315, has some of the best feet in the business. Shotgun, 1st and 10. Watts keeps it, and Watts picks up 7 yards on the carry, maybe 8. Well, that's a good spot. They even give him 9 on the carry, so that'll set up 2nd and short. Good situation for Alabama. Watts with 40 yards rushing on the afternoon.
Well, an important series for Alabama. They need to get things going back on offense. They've been in them. They just haven't had anything. Go back to what they do well, and that, of course, was Watts running the football on that option.
Millen's in motion. 4-man front by the Rebels. Here's the option to the wide side. Watts will keep it, 1st down. Watts out over the 40. A good run by the quarterback. But here Goethe brings him down. Tyler Watts, in the last 2 games we talked about it, has 263 yards rushing. He's 378 yards passing.
Good block up front, just get in their way, just kind of occupy him a little bit. How about there for Watts putting his head down and running over him?
Charles, what do you have on that play?
You keep hearing about Dave Rowe saying you got to take away the quarterback. That time Ole Miss took away the pitch man, but the guy scraping inside the linebacker wasn't there to fill the gap and take away Tyler Watts.
Little play action. Watts will go up top looking for Millens. Off his hand. Watts got hammered as he let it go by Kenny Jackson. The pass was very close to going for 6.
Boy, laid it right out just as well as you can throw the football. That one was thrown. That's a little contact after he hits it. Boom, he goes on down. That's Kenny Jackson who gets the stick. Just beat that quarterback. But watch this. Just a little bit of adjustment here. It hits him right on the hands. And you know, Millens has come down a lot of times with those balls. If he catches that one, nobody stops him.
Millen and Carter both on the sidelines. In motion is Sam Collins. They'll drop back and throw it. Collins wide open. Collins will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. What a play from Dennis Franchione and company.
And this is the 3rd option on the play on that quarterback option, and that's the pass. You run along the line. You get your defense to bite on a run. You get those safeties to come up, and then all of a sudden the quarterback drops back and finds his wide out crossing the field. Again, come along. Right here, it looks just like an option, right? Now, he drops back. He's got a little bit of time, lays it up. He takes the shot, but he's got him coming across the field. Look, nobody even near him. Nobody even close to Collins. As you said, he walks into the end zone. 3rd option of the option play.
59 yards. Watts to Collins. Thomas, point after. Up and good. And you asked the question, could Alabama respond? They did. Sam Collins, with his first touchdown of the season, his 9th catch. And he doubles his yardage with 1 catch. Sam, the junior out of Fayette, Alabama. And Tyler Watts took a couple of big hits. The last one by Josh Cooper, one of them by Kenny Jackson. And obviously Alabama's coaching staff saw a hole in the middle of that Ole Miss defense.
Yeah, we haven't seen that part of the option play. When we did the South Carolina game, they never really dropped back and threw the football. They did that time.
Tyler Watts has shown us that he is a multi-dimensional quarterback. On the ground, this is what he has done. His performance at South Carolina was spectacular. Awesome. He was 20 of 25 in the air, 238 yards passing. His 80% completion rate was a school record. And remember, Dave, this is a guy who tore his ACL in this game a year ago.
You see the numbers today,
Andrew
Dave.
Zhao came in and put on a show. But Tyler Watts, a gritty performer, stays with it. Collins out to the 32-yard line.
Well, Dave, just one comment about Tyler Watts real quick, and that is usually it's 11 defenders against 10 on offense. Quarterback's not a factor other than throwing the football. When you have a quarterback that can run, it's not like it's 11 on 11. It's a huge advantage because you get all your pressure and he squirts up through there and picks up yards. To have a quarterback that has that mobility and that arm, combination puts so much more pressure on your defense.
6th in the SEC in rushing per game. 72 yards for a contest. Now it's Eli Manning's chance to move the Rebels down the field. A little play action. Eli will run the football. Eli out over the 40 to the 44-yard line. That is a first down, and Eli with only 3 rushes this year. He likes to stay back here in the pocket.
Yeah. Well, this was an interesting one. Comes out here, he's going to pick up a good block. Metcalf cuts him down from the side. Now he just comes on downfield. Again, just tuck that arm. Good recovery there. McKay Lozier comes back and makes that play. If he doesn't, I think Eli Manning runs for a lot more yards.
Showed a little flashes of Archie.
You know Peyton doesn't run like that, I can tell you.
Eli scrambling. Chased by 4 Alabama defenders. Run out of bounds. No gain on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Brown wants a flag, but none warranted.
Wasn't it amazing talking yesterday when we talked to Eli Manning, his demeanor, just the way he looks at the football game. So much, they talk about, you know, experience. He's got a wealth of experience, and he's just a sophomore.
We've got 2 very, very talented quarterbacks in action. Watts, the junior. Manning, the sophomore. They will go at it again next year. Now formation for Ole Miss on 2nd and 11. Gunn dances around. It's a couple of yards. That'll bring up a long 3rd down. Bates, the true freshman, along with Cornelius Wortham on the play.
Dave, when you see a running back make a move like that, just like what Joe Gunn did on that little play, it didn't go for many yards, but when you see him make a move like that, you know they've got solid footing. Field's drying out. We talked about the wind blowing across it, no rain. This could end up being a dry track.
Zach House and Sanford in the backfield. Ole Miss 2 for 5 on 3rd down conversions today. They face a lengthy one here. Looks as though Alabama's going to bring some heat. They back off. Blitz comes from the middle. Manning is hammered at the 35. Loose football. Still on the ground at the 30-yard line. What a hit Eli Manning took. Salim Rashid. Brooks Daniels comes up with the football.
You said they were going to come with heat, and they did come with heat. They faked on the edge heat, but Rashid comes right up the gut. Look at number 11. And then when he turns back around, he gets buried right there. Out comes the football.
Kenny King would come up with the football eventually. 55.
There's number 11, Rashid. And look when he gets stuck right there. Wow. You talk about getting hit right in the mouth. That was a huge stick.
Now the Tide have great field position. Watts on the option inside the 20. That's a first down for the Crimson Tide.
And isn't it amazing how quickly Alabama went back to what worked in that first drive, and that was the quarterback option. They just kind of stayed away from it for 2 or 3 drives, but it works so well, especially when you've got this kind of a lane and you've got a quarterback that can put his head down. You talked about him taking some shots. He's fearless back there.
First and 10. We're in the red zone. Alabama has been perfect in their last 9 attempts inside the red zone this year. Watts takes it down to the 10-yard line. Von Hutchins makes the stop. That'll be a gain of close to 7.
When you talk about momentum builders, this is a big momentum builder for Alabama. Well, actually for both teams. If Ole Miss can hold them to a field goal here, they'll win. If Alabama goes in and establishes that they're here to stay and they're here to play, can change the tide of this football game quickly.
Collins comes to the near side. A couple of tight ends, Sanders and Jones in the game. Lau and Galloway in the backfield. Lau slides across the line. The option pitch, dangerous pitch, and Galloway is tackled. Ole Miss played that as well as they've played the option all day.
Absolutely. They had the quarterback toss. They had help on the outside. That's as well as you can play it. That's what you have to do. Again, slide along the line. You see that they're going to play the toss. Right there, they've got outside help. They make the quarterback force it. That's what you want to do. You want to run it east and west. Don't allow them to cut up.
3rd down and 8 after the loss of almost 4. Watch the throw. Looking for Millage. Overthrows him. No flags. That'll bring up 4th down. Taylor on the coverage. That's an awesome matchup. 2 of the best in the country. Taylor against Millens on the outside.
Yeah, interesting that they would challenge Seneca Taylor. He's their best one-on-one coverage man. Look at that. Good position. He's inside of Millens. Nowhere to really throw the football. You would think that they would challenge on the other side.
Here comes Neil Thomas, who still thinks he made the 40-yarder back in the first quarter. He will try from 31. Jonathan Ritchie's hold is perfect. Neil Thomas' kick is perfect. And Alabama takes advantage of the big Ole Miss turnover and picks up 3 points. And they lead it 17-14 with 1:14 to go before halftime. Ole Miss hasn't played a home game in 41 days, Dave. These people, Ole Miss fans and players, this is almost like their home opener. Their last game was the opener back on September 1st. So they're excited to be here for some football. It's been a while. Let's check in with Charles on the sideline. Charles?
All right, Dave, you talked a bunch about Tyler Watson, deservedly so today. He's doing a great job. One of his key targets in high school was Lane Bearden, Alabama's punter and kickoff man. Now, Lane Bearden caught a lot of passes from Tyler Watson. Ordinarily, you don't think a punter's very tough. Well, last week against South Carolina, 2 weeks ago against South Carolina ran a guy at Lane Bearden after every kickoff, trying to get his mind distracted. Lane Bearden took on the challenge and knocked off one of the guy's helmet a couple of times. Tyler Watts said they messed with the wrong guy if they went after Lane Bearden.
Yeah, Lane was, I think initially when we saw it was a little shocked, but then every other time he had to kick off or was on the field, he was ready.
Well, you don't think of quarterbacks, you don't think of punters as being fearless, but it worked.
The high pooch kick. Tennessee would love to have one of those. At the 32-yard line. That's where Ole Miss will take over. Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll be highlighting the best in the SEC, presented by Don Pablos. That's coming up in a minute 14 seconds. Ole Miss fumbled on their last possession, and that gave it back to Alabama in good field position. Eli Manning took a huge shot from the combination of Jarrett Johnson and Salim Rashid and fumbled the football. See if he'll remember that. He told us yesterday that playing in the bowl game last season at the end of the year when he had a lot of snaps in that game trying to bring Ole Miss back against West Virginia really helped him understand the speed of the game in the SEC and helped him this year as well.
You know, I'm surprised at that pooch kick because with a minute left, I mean, you give him field position out about 32, 33-yard line. 2 or 3 passes, you may be in field goal position. Well, they're in no hurry, though.
Well, they were kicking into the wind, and I think they wanted to avoid a long return. That ball would have been returnable, and their 2 return guys at Ole Miss have been very successful this year, Collins and Armstead. Matter of fact, Armstead already has 1 touchdown, averaging about 46 yards per return. Collins averaging 24, so that might have been their philosophy. Joe Gunn's philosophy is pick up big chunks of yards today. Joe's having one of his better halves of the season. He's out over the 40. That'll bring up 3rd down, but the clock's going to tick, and Joe Gunn may be hurt. Joe Gunn hobbling off to the sidelines with 85 yards rushing today. That is not a good sign. They've already lost Robert Williams, who had his knee scoped couple of weeks ago, so they're working really in a three-man rotation in that tailback with Sanford, Stackhouse, and Gunn. They could be down to 2 tailbacks. That is a big, big story for Ole Miss as they head into the locker room. Alabama's big story is they got 3 to take the lead heading into the locker room. Joe Gunn hobbles off. Ole Miss trying to beat Alabama. They've lost 10 straight to the Crimson Tide. Let's check in with Charles.
Coach Brand, in the first half, it looked like your offensive line really got it in gear. After a little bit of a lull, looked like you ran the ball pretty well in the option.
Well, we did. We had 2 good opening drives, and then we got stymied a little bit, and then we came back and did a good job there at the end.
Coach, on the option, are you seeing things in Mississippi's defense, or are your guys just executing awfully well?
It's a little of both. I think they've got a tough time with one of the things that we're doing, and other than the very last one, we've executed it pretty good, too.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half. All right, the score at halftime. Alabama 17, Mississippi 14. We'll be back with more scores, stats, and highlights from the first half, so stay with us on SEC Football.
SEC Football is brought to you by Choice Hotels International, the power of being there. Go. By Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last, will be there. By Pizza Hut, so much variety, the best pizzas under one roof. By Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, remember there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. And by BMW, visit your local BMW center for a test drive. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
The over 3,300 choice hotels in the U.S. and the Caribbean just want to thank everyone for traveling again and getting back to experiencing the power of being there.
A 7th grader at a small underfunded school learns science via satellite. A new graduate finds a friend in an unfamiliar place. A rural mother is thankful for long-needed medical help. A freshman learns that her teacher is also her friend. The University of Alabama, touching lives and making a difference around the world and right next door.
For 90 years, we've kept Americans moving, and there's no reason to stop now. Chevrolet. Right now, get 0% financing on every new car we build. Malibu, Cavalier, Impala, the cars behind a nation that never slows down. And you can own one, interest-free. Keep America rolling. See your local Chevy dealer today. We'll be there.
Next, VIP.
You're fired!
The team's got competition from a hot new bodyguard company.
Somebody's certainly been eating his Wheaties.
But behind the hype is a dangerous ride.
Look, we can do this the easy way, we can do it the hard way.
And when super steroids create supermen, it's Super Val to the rescue.
Heads up!
Action with an attitude. Next, VIP.
Saturday at 5 on WB 53.
Advance Auto Parts presents the best play of the week in the SEC. We go back to last Saturday. After seeing Tennessee's Travis Stevens sprint 62 yards for what appeared to be the game-winning touchdown, the Dogs hunkered down. Redshirt freshman quarterback David Green led the Bulldogs on a drive that'll be remembered for seasons to come. With 5 ticks left on the clock, Green connected with Veron Hayes to lift Georgia to a 26-24 win over Tennessee. It was Georgia's first win in Knoxville since 1980. And that's the Advance Auto Parts best play of the week.
Welcome back to Oxford, Mississippi. The score at halftime. Alabama 17, Ole Miss 14, and a well-played first half. Alabama came out in the initial drive and played awfully well, took it downfield, and scored early. Ole Miss made some adjustments and actually took the lead at 14-7 before Bama scored twice, a touchdown and a field goal to seize the lead and a little bit of the momentum going into the first half. At the top of our show, we talked about taking a look at Terrence Metcalf in our side view. And Terrence Metcalf, the offensive tackle for Ole Miss, had a productive first half. His team scored 14 points. There he is blocking on Salim Rashid, Alabama's All-American. And he's matching up again. And they're showing it in and out on the goal line, firing out and helping Ole Miss get into the end zone on a touchdown. And then Joe Gunstead it downfield. You see the big block. Big Terrence Metcalf burying his man. A great first half for Terrence Metcalf. And Ole Miss had a big game just a few seasons ago. Let's take a look back now at a big moment in Ole Miss history on one of our Sonic Gridiron gems.
Gridiron Gems of the SEC is brought to you by Sonic, America's Drive-In. In 1996, Tommy Tuberville brought his Ole Miss team to Sanford Stadium in Athens, a place where the Rebels had won only once since 1970. The visitors got out quickly and took a 14-0 lead after just 4 minutes. But Georgia scored 27 straight points to take a 27-14 halftime lead. The Rebels got a second defensive score late in the third quarter when David Evans stripped the ball from Bulldog quarterback Mike Bobo, and Ole Miss's Kyle Wicker picked up the fumble and ran it in for a 9-yard touchdown. Ole Miss down by 3. The Rebels would come back looking for the lead early in the fourth quarter, facing a 4th down and goal play.
And they're going to go for it on 4th and 2. Late to come out to open the corner, so surprising Georgia's defense. It's a play fake. Anding is open. Touchdown. Eli Anding.
Ole Miss takes a 31-27 lead late into the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs have one final shot for the win as time runs down.
Bobo will let it fly. Dixon's down there. Allen's down there. Tip into the air and incomplete. And the Ole Miss Rebels have yet another signature win.
The Rebels hold Georgia scoreless in the second half and win for only the 4th time ever in Athens. And that's a look at Sonic's Gridiron Gems.
And that was a Sonic Gridiron Gem from 1996, a victory the Ole Miss fans will never forget. Stuart Patridge going into their hearts for that big touchdown pass. Stay tuned with us, folks. The score at halftime, Alabama 17, Ole Miss 14. We'll be back with scores and highlights as we continue on our halftime show, so don't go away.
When you think about Southeastern Conference football, you think about excitement, pageantry, and thrilling last-second victories. We at Dr. Pepper also hope you think about us. As an SEC corporate partner, Dr. Pepper is proud of its longtime association with the SEC and its football championship. In this, the 10th anniversary of the SEC Football Championship, we congratulate the SEC and look forward to another outstanding decade of football excitement.
Can a bank help you catch the spirit of the Southeastern Conference? It can if it's Regions, because throughout the Southeast, Regions has more than 800 locations, providing greater convenience and service to our customers. So whether your team is just going for bragging rights or a shot at the national title, only Regions has the strength to be there with you. Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC Championships.
Nice seats, Axeman. What is this, like room double C?
At least the beer vendor comes up here, huh?
Yeah. Have you got any oxygen?
Yeah, what were they, sold out of seats on the roof, genius?
Yeah, really did. This is really cool, though, guys. I've never seen a game from orbit before.
That's sweet. Well, nice pass, nice pass. Hey, watch your heads, guys. Here comes a blimp. A blimp. How's the beer taste?
Good. Handling fee, Ice House style. We make the smooth, never watered down taste of Ice House for guys like you.
There you go. 2, please. 2, please.
Whatever happened to customer service? Where's it gone? Wasn't long ago, seemed like it was everywhere. Remember?
Moving along, we're almost done.
There's a bank out there where service isn't extinct, but alive and well. Yes, a bank. How can SunTrust help you?
Jefferson Pilot Sports presents the SEC Good Works Team, recognizing superior community service efforts by league football players. Today's honoree is Seneca Taylor from the University of Mississippi. Seneca is a leading participant in Reading with the Rebels, a program where student athletes go to local elementary schools and read to classes. He was also part of the community effort to build a new playground at Advents Park in Oxford. Jefferson Pilot Sports is proud to salute Seneca Taylor from Mississippi for being named a member of the SEC Good Works Team.
SECSports.com is your online destination for up-to-the-minute information on the Southeastern Conference. This interactive site features stats, features, and exclusive SEC championship coverage throughout the year. Fans can also shop at the SEC Superstore or listen to weekly coaches' media briefings. Don't miss all the action at SECSports.com. Here in Oxford, Mississippi, we have a dandy going on. The Rebels losing by 3 to Alabama at the half, 17-14, in a very well-played first half. A lot of great action around the SEC, of course, today. Here at Oxford, of course, 17-14 Alabama. But at Vanderbilt, Georgia against Vanderbilt just getting underway this afternoon. And also, in a little while, Troy State taking out Mississippi State, and the Bulldogs have homecoming. In the ACC, Clemson by 4 over NC State, and a big one in the Big 12, Texas leading big over Oklahoma State 31-10 at the half. And a big dandy across the country, the one everyone's focusing on, Miami of Florida 21, Florida State 13 at the half in Tallahassee. And out of the Big 10, Michigan 14 over Purdue 14-10. And next week, we're going to be on the road again, and this time we'll be in Athens, Georgia, where the Georgia Bulldogs, fresh off their big win over Tennessee last week, hoping to get another win today against Vanderbilt, take on the Kentucky Wildcats. That should be another good one right here on Jefferson Pilot Sports, our pregame show at noon. And, of course, the game at 12:30. Here again in Oxford, Mississippi, the Alabama Crimson Tide leading by 3 over the Ole Miss Rebels. Stay tuned for more at halftime show after this local break.
On the new WB Sunday night.
Hey, Dad.
From the off-center minds that served up 2 slices of American pie.
Hey there, Angel Pie.
Meet Ewan, a guy trying to make it in the big city.
I want to be with both of you, preferably at the same time. I think I'm free tonight. I can move some things around.
Sean McGuire and Eddie K. Thomas star in the new WB comedy, Off-Center.
Sunday night at 9:30 on WB 53.
Just announced. Special 0% financing on America's favorite 2001 and 2002 Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Nothing beats 0% financing. Choose from America's favorite vehicles. Drive home a Ford car, truck, or SUV with 0% financing. Nothing beats 0%, and nothing beats the money you'll save. See your local Ford dealer today for this limited time offer.
That is pathetic.
Hey, those are our kids you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about your ordinary fast food. Boring, lifeless. Wake me when you're done eating. Or you could try KFC honey barbecue wings, drenched in the Colonel's tangy yet sweet sauce, full of intense flavor.
Hurry, get 8 KFC honey barbecue wings for only $2.99 or 20 for only $6.99.
Or Towboy, little help here. This gives me so much joy. There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
On the next X-Files.
We were attacked. Can you describe to me what you saw?
The camera crews of cops follow Mulder and Scully.
It stood up on its 2 legs. It was covered in fur.
On the trail of a monster.
1033, 212, Adam needs assistance.
Life on the beat.
Run! To the car! Back in the car now!
Takes a strange turn. Next X-Files.
Saturday night at 7 on WB 53.
The best of the SEC is brought to you by Don Pablo's The Real Enchilada. Travis Stevens for the University of Tennessee has set the pace for the rushing leaders. Another big afternoon last week against the University of Georgia. He's leading the conference in rushing 147 yards per game. Ahmad Galloway from Alabama, who's chasing him, 26 yards in the first half here today. Rex Grossman, the quarterback for Florida, setting the pace not just in the SEC, but nationally. One of the top quarterbacks out there, while Eli Manning, hot on his heels for Ole Miss, 118 yards passing in the first half. and these guys have to have someone to throw to. Jabbar Gaffney's a pretty good target, an All-America last year, putting up those same kind of credentials this year, chasing Josh Reed from LSU, one of the best receivers in the conference, and Kelly Washington from the University of Tennessee, 2 huge ball games his last 2 efforts. He's creeping up now. Okay, and that's a look at Don Pablo's, the best of the SEC. The score here in Oxford, Mississippi is 17-14, Alabama over Ole Miss. A really well-played first half. We spent a lot of time at the top of the show talking about the weather and how it might affect the game. And right as the game got started, the sky lightened a little bit, the rain stopped, the wind died down, and we got down to playing a little bit of football. Pretty good first half for both teams. Let me check in with my partners now, Dave Neal and Dave Rowe, and see what they thought about the first half. I thought these guys got at it pretty good, fellas.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, they were swapping a little paint out there. Some big hits. Eli Manning took a couple of big shots. Tyler Watts has taken a couple of big shots. But ultimately, this has been the kind of football game we expected. 17-14 here at halftime. And Dave Rowe, we thought that this downpour that we have seen before kickoff would have been a factor, but it really appears that it hasn't been.
No factor whatsoever. It's, as Charles said, it's a fast track. Maybe a little bit soft, but it's a fast track. No fumbles. Basically one fumble by Eli Manning. And they're not making mistakes. And hence, we've got a close football game.
Let's take a look at our first half highlights, or some of them. There were plenty of them to take a look at.
Well, Tyler Watts starts it off on that option. He's got 83 yards on 8 carries, and he has really been a force. We look for him to have a lot more. Galloway takes the toss on the and then gets to the outside, just races to the flag. That set up the first score. Then Sanford came back, pushed in the end zone, stretched out, and made it. And that was a huge play for them to answer. Then Joe Gunn, what a good block by, we talked about Metcalf with his great block. Joe Gunn reads it back into the end zone. And then that option pass, the third part of the option, where Sam Collins catches that long one. But this set up the last fumble. That was set up the field goal that Alabama went in with the 3-point lead.
Neil Thomas converts on the field goal. And here's a look at our all-tell halftime stats and rushing yards. Pretty even. Joe Gunn had a big first half for Ole Miss. Tyler Watts had a big first half for the Crimson Tide. I think one interesting note, Alabama came in here one of the most penalized teams in the country, only 2 penalties, while Ole Miss led the league in fewest penalties this year. They have 5 in the first half. And Dave Rowe, when we look ahead to the second half, what has to happen if Alabama is to hold on and win, or Ole Miss comes back and makes a statement?
Well, I think, first of all, if Alabama's going to win, they're going to win on the option. That has been a real factor for them, as evidenced by 10 yards of carry by Watts. Yeah. If Ole Miss is going to win this football game, it's going to be on the arm of Eli Manning, especially when we saw Joe Gunn get hit and hurt just before half.
We will find out about Mr. Joe Gunn, but we've got second half football as well just around the corner. It's soggy, but it's not raining. It's a good one. We'll be back to Oxford right after this.
Hats off to rookie driver Kevin Harvick. Kevin, how's it feel having Sonic behind you?
Oh, it's great having a sponsor people love like Sonic.
Happy to stay behind the scenes, are they?
Laid back, genuine, and very easy going.
Hats off to another rookie you're gonna love, Sonic's new chicken strip sandwiches. A whole new way to love our famous chicken strips. Tender all-white meat made with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese. Try yours today in zesty spicy or delicious classic style. Hurry in. They're here this month only.
Looks like Sonic's quietly cooked up another winner.
On the next blind date.
What is our motivation?
Laces, everyone.
Love. This is like one of my first dates.
This is what women do not want.
I haven't been exactly the most faithful. Pretty much actually never.
Do they know it?
Plus,
Sheffield?
You from Sheffield?
In the north?
The Brits are coming. The Brits are coming.
Tis true. Somebody with an open mind.
Exactly.
It's very, very attractive.
Compared to English women?
That's next time on Blind Date.
Monday night at 10 on WB 53.
Next Eliminate.
I wanted to see how far they would go. For me.
4 daring bachelors bite off more than they can chew to win this LA Temptress.
We have head cheese, heart, tongue.
Eat it, be a man.
You don't want to bite of my sausage?
I was not impressed.
She wants me.
I'm a born-again virgin.
Loser.
I don't see a girl being attracted to him.
Frat boy meathead.
People like that I smush.
3 get the axe, 1 gets the date.
I'm planning on getting naked with her.
Next, eliminate.
Monday night at 10:30 on WB 53.
SEC football is being brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. By Don Pablo's, the real enchilada. By Alltel. Alltel Total Freedom plans give you nationwide calling with no roaming or long-distance charges. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, get the feeling. By the chicken strip sandwich only at Sonic, America's drive-in. And by Ice House. You've got a style all your own. Ice House style. Enjoy.
Alabama leads Ole Miss by a field goal. Charles Davis has corralled Ole Miss coach David Cutcliffe.
Coach, you had things going your way in the first half, went up 14-7 before you gave up 2 late scores. How'd you feel about the first half from your club?
We have played hard. We've got to play smarter. We gave them the ball backed up. That's the difference in the game right now. We've got to play error-free the second half. We have an opportunity to try to make something happen in the kicking game. That'll help us. We're going to go out and play as good as we can play.
How about Joe Gunn, Coach? How about his condition?
I was told it looks like he's going to be okay, but we're going to have to get out here before we know for sure. Just right there at the end, turned his ankle a little bit.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Charles, and we will have to wait a moment before we determine Joe Gunn's status because Ole Miss will kick off to begin the second half. Lee Rogers will kick off for Ole Miss. Millens and Carter are back deep. It's a high kick that will go about 2 yards deep, and Millens will take it out of the end zone. Freddie bounces off a couple of players and is dropped at the 20-yard line. Chris Knight in on the stop, a 21-yard return. Tyler Watts averaged over 10 yards per carry in the first half. The option has been dynamite for him. Passing numbers, not very impressive. 5 of 14, does have 121 yards and the 1 touchdown to Sam Collins on what was a well-executed play.
Well, you've made your adjustments. Now you come out, you see what the defensive adjustments are going to be. The option's got to figure. You had so much success with it.
Hand off to Galloway. Takes it out to about the 26-yard line.
Dave, you look at these first series, and boy, this is really where you set the tone of the second half. You see the adjustments that have been made in the locker room at halftime. These first couple series, 1 on offense, 1 on defense. Tone setters.
Second down and 5. In motion comes Millens. Hand off to Galloway. Nowhere to run, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 5. Dave, when you go back and look at Alabama this year in their history, this season, a lot of penalties. They've dropped the football 18 times. They've only lost 6 fumbles, but they've fumbled it 18 times. Today they have the 2 penalties. They have no turnovers. I think they're starting to hear the Dennis Franchione message.
Exactly right. He said, we've done so many push-ups. They do push-ups after they have offside penalties and fumbles. He said, we're getting a lot stronger. We don't need to be too much stronger.
Millens in motion, little play action. Watts under pressure, dropped at the 22-yard line by Anthony Sims.
Boy, and how about Anthony Sims coming down the line? He's a defensive lineman. He runs down the line, doesn't allow the quarterback to get up underneath him. Watch 32 right in the middle of your screen there. He's going to come down. Now, don't let the quarterback jump underneath you. Look at the foot action. Gets a hand on him. That's what you want to do, wrap him up. Great play. Again, don't let him cut back underneath you. That's what Watts likes to do.
Sims has now recorded at least 7 stops in every game this year for Arkansas. Bearden to punt. That's a good one. Back at the 30 goes Armstead. He goes to the far side. flock in the back coming up. A couple of referees, officials saw it coming.
When that block in the back, that just takes so much away from you. It's like the guilty person, maybe Kevin Thomas, and maybe on Rashid, number 11, against him. But you know, you've got good field position. You're out at midfield. Now you're going to come all the way back to the 30-yard line. It's a killer.
I mean, coming into this game, Ole Miss had only been penalized 18 times. That's the fewest in the Southeastern Conference. By contrast, Alabama's been penalized 51 times, third most in the conference. Today, 1 penalty against Alabama, and could be 6 now against Ole Miss. And there's 2 flags, and there actually could be 2 penalties here, Dave, which is what they could be discussing. There's actually 3. There's another one at the 50, but there could be 2 separate penalties here we're discussing.
There's one right where the ball was, where he was tackled, then 2 back on about the 36, 37-yard line.
Well, the question is, this must be hurting Joe Gunn a little bit. He had been stretching during the Alabama offensive possession, trying to get it together.
And I watched Eli Manning trying to signal the coach.
In the back against the receiving team on the return. We have a face mask foul against the kicking team. Those fouls offset. We will replay 4th down.
So let's do it again. 47-yard punt is taken off the boards, and Rogers Redding marches down, brings the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, one thing on that last punt, he actually out-punted his coverage.
Yeah, he did. It was a good kick, but it was low. Not a lot of hang time.
Exactly. If you're going to punt deep, you've got to get it up high. You punt that thing low, you out-punt your coverage, and that's where the returns happen.
Lane's been pretty good, averaging 40 yards a kick this year. See what he can do on this one. This one has a lot more hang time. And Armstead takes it at the 36. So it worked out pretty good for the Crimson Tide. Joe Gunn, we'll see how good he can be with a twisted ankle, but look what he did as a sophomore. Over 900 yards rushing, at 951 yards rushing as a sophomore in '99, averaged 86 yards a game. Last year, behind Deuce McAllister, a little banged up, didn't work out. This season he's gone over 100 yards one time. That came against Kentucky, but today he's put together some pretty impressive runs, and Joe Gunn steps back in at that tailback spot, and we'll see how good he can be here with a twisted ankle. Looks pretty good moving around. That pass is caught by Chris Collins. Dixon on the coverage. Gain of about 5.
Well, interesting that you go right out to a little quick out to Collins, get his confidence back, get Manning back into flow a little bit. But I think that if you're David Cutcliffe, you're turning around saying, hey, hand that ball to Joe Gunn. I want him to get confidence on that ankle.
Second down and 5. Manning is hammered.
Wow.
Cornelius Wortham and the rest of the Alabama front 4 just barreled through there in what appeared to be a broken play.
Oh, this is a broken play. Look at the pressure right at the middle. No place for Manning to go. He just turns around there and has to take the shot. Turned around and looked as if he was trying to hand off to Joe Gunn up through the middle, and then all of a sudden, no one there.
It looks as though Eli Manning might have injured his left hand. Got some taping on there. He's been hit hard a couple of times. Charles is checking on that. Stay off the field, though, Charles, when you get your information. I know how you like to get out there and get in the action. And the play clock runs to 0. So a couple of mishaps for Ole Miss. David Cutcliffe unhappy.
Foul, delay of the game against the offense. The 25-second clock expired. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So more penalties against the Rebels, but that left hand taped up by Eli Manning.
I wonder if he got that hurt when he did that fumble. You know, when he came back around, got that hand caught maybe between a couple helmets against his body, because he really got stuck on that play.
Rashid and Johnson really hammered him on that play, and there's a look at the penalties. 2 of 6 on 3rd down are the Rebels. This is a lengthy one. 3rd and 12. Pressure. Pass is caught over the middle by Stackhouse. He will be a couple of yards shy. Manning once again gets hit. Wayne Bacon brings him down about 3 or 4 yards shy of the 1st down, and Ole Miss will send out the punting team. So a good defensive stand by the Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Dave, 2 things make this play work. First of all, recognition of the blitz. Second of all, from Charles Stackhouse, just to turn around and look at your quarterback. You know he's in trouble because you see the pressure coming.
Cody Ridgway averaging 37 yards at kick today. Back to punt it away, and he hits a boomer. That'll sail over Carter's head and bounce into the end zone. A 54-yard kick. Net 34 as they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and that is where the Alabama Crimson Tide will take over. 10:28 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tyler Watts and company about to take the stage. Back after this message from Texas Pete.
If you think all hot sauces are alike, think again. Some are just too darn hot, and others are too darn bland.
Hey, could you pass a Texas Pete?
Righty, partner.
Hey, thanks.
Texas Pete, the South's leading hot sauce, is perfect to lasso the flavor of all your favorite dishes.
See you around.
Texas Pete, it's the bottle with a cowboy.
Touch-up paint. Bendix brakes. TRW tie rods. Rabbit's foot. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
First driving lesson?
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. Sunday.
I am an egomaniac.
The heart rate will increase very rapidly.
It still gives me butterflies.
They only fear the ordinary.
There's no room for mistakes.
And they dare to defy reality. Every week, join Dean Cain for 60 unstoppable minutes.
Who's to say it's that extreme?
Call it unbelievable insanity. They call it living large. The new WB series, Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Sunday night at 7 on WB 53.
Eli Manning on that Ole Miss sideline had a disappointing sequence of plays. Ole Miss had to punt it away, and Alabama takes over at the 20. 10:28 to go in the 3rd quarter. Little fake, and Watts will keep it. Across the 35, he dives to about the 39-yard line.
And Dave, what they did on that play is they faked to the fullback coming across. It draws the middle linebacker, and then Watts just takes it. Watch the fake right here. There he fakes. Now look at the option right here to run the football, pick up a good block inside, and he's got great yardage downfield. Just keep on looking, and Watts he's been the difference.
Well, Tyler Watts, Dave, here's a stat for you. He now has 113 more yards than every other Bama quarterback combined in the last 20 years rushing. He got pummeled, however, right there. Let's see if he's all right. He seems to be okay, but let me just put that in perspective. You got to go back to 1984, and he has racked up more yardage on the ground than all the other quarterbacks in the last 20 years combined.
Where'd you dig that stat up?
Barry Allen, Sports Information Office at Alabama, gave me my nugget of the week. Eddie Strong looks like he might be a little banged up. Eddie had some big plays in the 1st half. Remember last year, stress fracture in the foot cost him an entire season. They were able to get a red shirt for him. Charles, and speaking of injuries, what about Eli Manning's left hand?
Yeah, the trainer for Ole Miss, Tim Mullins, has been a little bit busy today. Yeah, he took a look at Jesse Armstead, Joe Gunn, of course, you know, Eli Manning, now Eddie Strong. Eli Manning's hand was hit. So a couple weeks ago when we had to get a lawyer for Dave Rowe about malpractice, about predicting what was wrong, don't worry about it, Dave. You're back in there. You guys were exactly right. On the hit that caused the fumble, they just padded it up a little, said he'll be fine.
He took a shot. Brooks Daniels initially picked up the football, but Kenny King would finally fall on it. That resulted in an Alabama field goal. Eddie Strong walks off the field, actually jogged off the field. He seems to be okay. Pressure coming from the backside. Watts hits his receiver Carter out near the 48-yard line. Justin Coleman on the coverage for the Rebels.
Well, one thing I like about Watts is when he comes, he squares up to the line, he drills the football. And that's what he does well. When he runs to his right, even better. I'm throwing against the body, just drilling that football out to the flat. Big down here. Third down, about 1.5, 2 yards. I think they'll go to an option.
Ole Miss has given up 2 more yards and 2 less yards than their average as Eddie Strong returns to the field. Sam Collins in motion. The option goes to Beard. Beard has some room. Beard inside the 20-yard line. Run out of bounds at the 18. What a hole for Santonio Beard. Coleman finally ran him out of bounds after the gain of 33.
And that was an interesting little twist on the option. What they did is they brought low in motion number 49, and he gets the great block on the outside. Down the sideline goes Beard. And Eddie Strong doesn't get to him. Watch this. Maybe that little nick early. He's just running, and you're chasing. Oh, it's a game of inches, isn't it?
It seems like in the option, Dave, that from a linebacker standpoint, defending that's almost all about angles.
It is. It certainly is. It's reading it real fast and getting to the football.
But, you know, like it looked as though Eddie Strong on that last play might have cut his angle too sharply.
Well, that's a good point. When you run lateral, you gain ground running lateral. You start to make that cut to come upfield, and you lose that angle of pursuit.
Charles. Charles, you there?
Dave, the other part is you want to get the safety out of the play, too. You got to take him out, because if he's an alley player and runs inside out, he can make plays, and so far they've kept the safety inactive on the option.
Yeah, safeties have to play big against this Alabama team as Santonio Beard takes this drive and gets the most out of his opportunity. Galloway giving way to Santonio on this stretch. Santonio Beard, 6'1", 215, a sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee. The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. Alabama has rushed for 180 yards today. Ole Miss, less than half of that. Some movement up front by Ole Miss, but Watts scrambles to the outside, fires back over the middle. Touchdown, Alabama. Triandis Luke with his 3rd touchdown reception of the season. And Ole Miss has jumped out 23-14.
When we talk about the mobility of a quarterback, and that's exactly what Tyler Watts does here. Dave, he had the run option if he wanted it. He saw his receiver coming across the middle, but watch the little play fake, and when he comes out here, he's got the run option right here. He can pull it down. Nope, don't have to. Out in the flat, there's Luke. Just a perfect crossing pattern.
Neil Thomas, point after, is up and good. 24-14, the biggest lead of the game for the Crimson Tide. A drive that took 80 yards in 7 plays, capped off by the Watts touchdown strike. Back in a moment.
Over 3,300 choice hotels in the U.S. and the Caribbean just want to thank everyone for traveling again and getting back to experiencing the power of being there.
hats off to rookie driver Kevin Harvick. Kevin, how's it feel having Sonic behind you?
Oh, it's great having a sponsor people love like Sonic.
Happy to stay behind the scenes, are they?
Laid back, genuine, and very easygoing.
Hats off to another rookie you're gonna love, Sonic's new chicken strip sandwiches. A whole new way to love our famous chicken strips. Tender all-white meat made with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese. Try yours today in zesty spicy or delicious classic style. Hurry in. They're here this month only.
Looks like Sonic's quietly cooked up another winner.
For the past 20 years, with the exception of last winter, consumers of natural gas have benefited from low, stable natural gas prices. In fact, for the past decade, increases in natural gas prices were lower than the Consumer Price Index inflation rate. The outlook for natural gas prices for this winter is much better. New gas supplies have been added to the market, resulting in lower prices. For more information, go to our website at ChattanoogaGas.com, or for service, call 1-800-GAS-LIME.
On the next Buffy.
I'm trying out for the cheerleading squad.
Ooh, stretchy.
I should be on that team by now.
School spirit is heating up.
You're in high school, you are desperate to make the team, so you turn to witchcraft.
First vampires, now witches.
You guys don't have to get involved. You're the Slayer, and we're like the Slayerettes. Do you actually ride a broom?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Saturday night at 8 on WB 53.
SEC football is brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, get the feeling.
The rain has started to fall once again here in Oxford, Mississippi, and it's a little soggy, but hey, this is SEC football. There's no time to complain and worry.
Start
Charles,
off young.
Take note, Charles. No time to complain and worry. Suck it up down there. Alabama leads it by 10. 7:55 to go in the third quarter. Lane Bearden kicks off. Armstead takes it at the 7. Armstead out over the 30 to the 34. The tackle made by Lane Bearden. A pretty good stop. Charles.
Dave, you know, I've always known guys who have a roof over their head when it's raining and are warm and dry. They always tell the other guys who are out in the elements to suck it up. Actually, we've had a pretty decent day. We expected this heavy rain throughout the ball game. For most of the game, it has stopped. So actually, we've been pretty lucky down here.
Yeah, the field held up pretty well, too. I think this track has been more than sufficient today with all the rain we have seen.
Eli Manning, he needs something. He needs a good track right now. He needs something good to happen.
Well, that wasn't. That lost a couple. If you're an Ole Miss fan, that's not the kind of start that sets up a 2nd down and 12 situation. Rashid on Joe Gunn. And here's a look at yards by half, and Alabama's putting it together. Their total yards now up over 320, and this is a situation where Ole Miss has to start to develop some first downs and get some momentum, or Alabama could put up some big numbers.
And that's what I see out of Eli Manning. I see a streak player. I see somebody that can get hot and go a little bit. But right now, he needs a little streak. He needs some good things to happen.
There's a good start. That pass is caught at the 45. Jamie Armstrong. And a nice throw under pressure by Manning, a gain of 11.
Boy, you had Kenny King coming right down his throat. This is all arm. Watch Kenny King right of your screen. He's going to get him, right? Manning falling back throws that ball. Just delivers it out there.
That's the 5th different receiver to catch a ball today. Last week, 9 different guys caught a ball. Overall this year, 11 different receivers have caught a pass here at Ole Miss. Sanford loses a couple of yards. Kenny King just blows right through his gap and makes the stop.
Boy, Kenny King is number 55. He's just going to dart. I love the way he just comes, darts straight down inside. Now, once you make that move, just get inside, come across, square up, and make the tackle. He's in the backfield, 2 yards in the backfield, right after the ball snapped.
He's had leg and shoulder problems throughout his career, but very healthy this year, and you see it in his performance. The junior out of Daphne, Alabama. 5 wide out, shotgun, 2nd down and 12. Play clock down to 3, but they get it off. That ball would have been a great catch if Jamie Armstrong would have been able to pull it down. He just batted it, but it was a high throw from Eli.
This is an interesting formation, 5 wideouts, but that's a bullet right there. If he pulled that one down, he'd have been playing right field. That was a tough ball coming to you. But two things that Ole Miss has got to do. They've got to give it a little bit better protection in the middle. That's from tackle to tackle, mostly with the guards. They've got to stuff up in the middle. Can't let that penetration go. That allows your quarterback to look downfield. Then he's got to find a wideout that can catch the football.
Ole Miss just 2 of 7 on 3rd down conversions today. They came in highly successful in that department, 51% on the season. They'll be a couple of yards shy. Jason Armstead brought down by Herschel Bolden, but they needed to get it over the 45-yard line. They needed to get close to the 44 for the first down. They didn't do it. They're at the 46.
Interesting, Manny wants to stay out there. He's saying, hey, coach, let's go for it. 4th down and 1. What do you think?
Why not?
Hey, that's exactly right. If you can't make a yard, you don't deserve to win.
Well, that's what they need. It's 4th and 1. Hanford, Stackhouse, the running backs in the eye.
Oh, maybe just trying to draw him off sides.
That's what he did. Play clock got down to 1, and Eli Manning calls the timeout. David Cutcliffe and company will talk it over. We'll come back with the 4th down play after a word from your local stations.
Men are like dogs. The Omega male, he's always submissive to the female.
Hey.
Hey. Hello, my friend. Oh, and he always does whatever he's told. Whether he likes it or not.
I think I would prefer it if Betsy were in the other room.
Oh. The fun is in the chase. Men, women, and dogs.
Sunday night at 8:30 on WB 53.
It starts out business as usual.
Hello? Hey, it's the sofa guys.
Then one day you need to go to the bank for help. Alone, maybe.
Hey, how's it going there, little buddy? How are you? You want to open the door for us?
But no one there can answer your questions. It seems the decision makers are not at home. Ever notice how that is? Not at SunTrust, you won't. How can SunTrust help you?
For many families, it's traditional to pass along heirlooms that become a cherished part of our lives. But other things can be passed from generation to generation too, like a predisposition to cancer. Fortunately, the Erlanger Cancer Center is here, with the region's only certified genetic counselor who can assess hereditary risk for you and your family. It's great to look back, but sometimes crucial to look ahead. More services, more answers. Only at Erlanger.
Hi, this is Eddie Brooker, General Manager here at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. You know, fall isn't only football season, it's new car season as well. 2002 models are on the lot right now, so why not head out to the game in the all-new, completely redesigned 2002 Camry, a new Sequoia, maybe even a new 4Runner. Whatever team you support, we're all members of the greatest team in history, the United States of America. Come see us here at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton, and God bless America.
Alabama by 10 over Ole Miss. 5:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ole Miss looking at 4th down and 1. They tried to draw Alabama off sides, called a timeout as the play clock got down to 1. And now they're going to go for it. 5 wide receivers on 4th and 1. No backs. Manning takes it and gets the first down.
Well, credit those 2 guards. They spread everybody out and just did a cornerback sneak behind Claxton, Buckles, and Johnson, and they just blew them off the line. Again, just get them up in there. Look at the big men in there just digging. Spread them out wide. Take the backers out there, and then they just blow up the middle. Got to credit those big offensive linemen for that one, but gutsy move there by David Cutcliffe.
Well, you're down 10. You got to make something happen. Your offense has struggled here in the second half. A little play action. Manning has his receiver, Doug Ziegler, the tight end. He's inside the 35, or they'll mark him down at the 36. That's about 2 yards shy of the first down. A gain of 8, brought down by Wayne Bacon. College football fans, visit Huddle House and play our fantastic football game where every scratch and match card has a winning combination. Thousands of prizes will be awarded, including a new Dodge Ram quad cab truck. Come on in and try your luck. No huddle set by Ole Miss. First time we've seen that today. Handoff goes to Sanford, and that should be an Ole Miss first down. They'll move the chains. That is the 14th first down of the day by the Rebels.
Well, they have two schools of thought here. If you're on offense, you don't allow them to make those defensive changes. If you're on defense, you're saying, hey, line up, be basic. But they brought them out. They're hurrying up on the ball. They're not allowed those defensive changes to be made.
Carl Torbush, of course, a former defensive coordinator here at Ole Miss from 83 to 86. A little tomfoolery didn't work for Salim Rashid. He's seen that before. Todd Bates, Rashid in on the play.
This is the way you stop it on the edge. Step up, put your head in there, just wrap them up, and dig those feet and hope for help.
I will say this about Eli Manning. He's one of these guys, so many times you see quarterbacks not go with the fakes, kind of cut the play short. He goes through every play action, every fake, till the play's over.
Absolutely, because there's one time where you're going to bring that football out and keep it.
4 wideouts for Manning. He throws it over the middle. Pass is caught at the 28. It was bobbled by Collins. Brooks Daniels was all over him, but a good catch by Chris Collins, the team's leading receiver.
Boy, when you have to concentrate, this is concentration. Look the football in. Bobbles off the hands. Now don't take your eyes off it. Just concentrate on getting it. Little cross right here. Again, lead it out front. Need to catch that ball, and he does.
5 receptions, 71 yards for Collins today. 3rd down and 7, however. Alabama linebackers have played quite well today. Seen a lot of Daniels and Rashid. That pass is dropped. That'll bring up 4th down. And Dave, is this one of those situations where you'll go for it again at the 28 in these conditions?
Well, it's a long field goal. If you're going to try to get a field goal, you're looking at what, 45 yards if you try that kick. That's a tough call. I don't think you punt it, obviously. I think you almost have to go for it. He went for it at midfield, but of course it was only 4th and 1 or 2.
On 4th down conversions today, they're 1 of 1 overall this season. They've yet to fail, 5 of 5.
Well, if it was me, I might look for Collins on that little curl, see if I can get him open in that little seam there. Double safety, though.
Collins on the near side, and Manning will have to take a timeout. That will leave Ole Miss with just 1 timeout the rest of the game.
And you know, we don't expect to see indecision on Eli Manning's face, but he looked over to his coach almost like he's going to say, hey, do you want me to go through with it? Interesting.
Coming up next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, an SEC East matchup as Kentucky pays a visit to Athens to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. And Georgia's looking to stay in the race for the SEC East title. Redshirt freshman David Green had his coming out party last week in the win against Tennessee. He is 3rd in the conference in passing. Green will have to prepare for the Wildcats' Dennis Johnson, who has been making some noise around the league as Kentucky looks for the upset in Georgia. That's next Saturday, 12:30 Eastern. Check the listings for the Jefferson Pilot Sports Station in your area. Well, here are some scores from around the country. Georgia leading by a couple of touchdowns up in Nashville. Mississippi State and Troy State just getting cranked up, and oh, that is painful. Rob Reichley, our producer, I think is doing that on purpose. My alma mater's being pummeled at home. We haven't showed Penn State, your alma mater.
That's right. They will not lose today.
Are they going to win this year?
No, they're not playing today.
Are they going to win this year? You didn't answer my question.
Well, I'll tell you, it's looking a little bit thin.
Yeah. Well, this is a big play for Ole Miss right now, Dave. 4th and 7. 2:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Alabama's defense has been pretty impressive here for most of this game, specifically the second half.
Well, he's got Rayford at the top of the screen, one-on-one. That may be his go-to guy.
He looks that way. Checks off, fires. Collins dropped it. He got hit by Wayne Bacon. The ball popped up in the air. Eli went through 3 or 4 checks before he finally delivered the football.
Yeah, when he came off the line, you're right, he looked over towards his right to try to pick up Rayford, and then he wasn't there. Now he drills it across the middle, and that's just a good stick in the middle, but he had missed the ball before. Again. Oh, ouch. That's the sounds of the game. Good stick there.
So Alabama takes over. Big defensive stand by the Tide as Millens goes in motion to the top of the screen, but the delayed handoff goes to Galloway. Ahmad Galloway took a break on the last drive. Santonio Beard had most of the carry, so Ahmad picks up 12 as he returns to the game.
Boy, good lead block that time. Donnie Lowe, number 49, gets the lead block. He picks up Eddie Strong, and then look at the hole that Galloway goes through. He dances through there. They're running inside, running outside.
Tyler Watts has been steady today. His passing numbers aren't sensational, but he has certainly done a nice job running the football as he blows over one player and picks up about 5 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And Dave, that's a designed play, quarterback. It's almost like a quarterback draw. You wait for your tackle to come over, your weak side tackle to come over, and you run right behind him. It's worked well for them. They've run it to the left most of the times. That time they came back to the right with the same play.
Collins in motion. Lau gets the handoff. It's maybe a yard. Eddie Strong on the tackle. Alabama rushing today, Dave. 199 yards. Tyler Watts has 84 of those.
Well, you don't think, when you look at Alabama, you don't think about freshmen having a big impact. You see right there, Britt is one of them. He's one of those impacts. Smiley, 78, is another one of those impact players. All freshmen. They have 3 freshmen out of those front 5 on their offensive line. A lot of years of those big boys.
3rd down and 2. Galloway gets 7, takes it inside the 45 to the 44.5-yard line as the clock shows us less than 1 minute to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, there's Eddie Strong, number 1 in the middle. He kind of gets caught up in the pile. You need to slide. And I wonder if those Ole Miss defensive linemen are getting a little bit tired because they're getting kind of bent over. See again right there, you want him to slide, but see how he has to go around the pile? Now he's just grabbing and holding on for about a 5-6 yard gain. You want those front defensive linemen up front holding.
Lonnie Lau, the fullback, who missed 3 weeks of the first 3 weeks after suffering a concussion in spring, limps off the field. Or excuse me, right before the season started, and Marvin Brown comes in and gets the handoff. Marvin fumbled a couple times against Arkansas, trying to get back into the good graces of his coaching staff as the clock hits 10 seconds and probably be the last play here of the 3rd quarter as Alabama is meticulously driving it down the football field as the rain falls in Oxford. Tyler Watts and company will lead it by 10. Tyler Watts with a touchdown pass, the only scoring in the 3rd quarter, helps Alabama to a 10-point advantage. We'll have the 4th quarter after this.
Welcome to Sonic. May I take your order, please?
Have you ever wondered what an SEC Football Network TV broadcast would look like if there were no commercial sponsors? Watch closely and I'll show you. This is Southeastern Conference football. These are the people who will help us bring great SEC football action to you every Saturday. Support Alltel and Ice House, official network sponsors of Jefferson Pilot Sports. Their commitment to college athletics puts you in the middle of the action.
That's right. You take the recliner. My man G. My man Miles. That's all you brought? Green chair.
So I had the green chair last
You brought
time.
that sorry dip last time.
Oh, see, that's cold. That's game started?
Hey, sweet pea. No beer, no nothing? I forgot. No entry. Look like your grandmother.
Pay-per-view. Ice House style. We make the smooth, never watered down taste of Ice House for guys like you.
Oh, you just lost the recliner, B-Dog.
A new season, a new night. The WB's new Tuesday. A wedding brings a guy into a Gilmore Girls world.
You know, you can't walk around in the buff anymore.
And an unexpected bachelorette party.
What in Lucifer's reach is my mother doing here?
Love her.
But happily ever after is easier said than done.
If you can find that one person, then marriage is all right.
If it's that one person.
An all-new Gilmore Girls.
Tuesday night at 8 on WB 53.
Our score by quarter. Alabama, the only team to put up a number in the third quarter. They lead it by 10. Tyler Watts, 241 total yards. Tyler Watts and company struggled to score points in the first couple of games. He only had 4 offensive touchdowns in the first 3 games, but in the last 3 games now, they have put up 14 touchdowns. Watts' pass is incomplete. Here's a look at our third quarter stats brought to you by Choice Hotels International. Ole Miss with 51 yards in the third quarter on 15 plays. Alabama in the third quarter had 15 plays for 112 yards. Alabama with 346 total yards today. Eli on the sidelines pondering, do we have enough time?
And listen to this crowd. They're saying, there's Eddie Strong forces the pitch.
Galloway gets close to the first down. He's down to the 35. Jesse Mitchell on the stop, number 95. But Eddie Strong was quick to get to Watts that time.
Yeah, he said he isn't going to run with it. And a good pitch there by Watts to concentrate. You know, we talked about the commitment that you have to make on that play. If you're the running back and you're on that option, you've got to continue. You can never give up, even as you get past the line of scrimmage. Big down here, 4th down and 1.
Alabama's going to go for it. They have yet to convert on 4th down this season. Galloway, the single setback. Watts got stood up by Lanier Goethe. I don't know if he made it.
No way. If he made it, I want to tell you, I don't think he made the 35-yard line. If they mark it past the 35-yard line, I'll be surprised.
Watch the Ole Miss bench, Dave, if they did get it, but they didn't. And the Ole Miss bench erupts. Goethe came flying in there.
Where did he make it?
He didn't.
No way. There was no way he was going to make that. Boy, you talk about a wall. And you got to credit those linemen down in the back. They're the ones that take the initial shock. Then the backers come up and stuff. Great defensive stand.
I don't blame Coach Franchione for going for that. I mean, his defense has played well here in the second half. Played pretty well all day. And his offense has been pretty meticulous in picking up 4 or 5 yards a pop.
And every coach will tell you, Dave, when you've got 4th down and a foot or so, you go up the middle.
Manning has a lot of time looking near side. Intended receiver was Jason Armstead. Gerald Dixon on the coverage.
And the one thing you don't want to do if you're Eli Manning, and that is just to kind of get nervous and want to get it all in one bite. Stay with your game plan. There's a lot of time left. There's almost 14 minutes. You got a lot of time to get back in this football game. Stay with it.
Stackhouse. Look at the Alabama defense. Swarming to the football. And a lot of clean jerseys in there as Alabama getting some fresh legs in, at least for a series.
Well, Dave, a lot of people don't realize that you play defense with your hands. You slide to the football. When the offensive player comes at you, you stick him with your hands, get separation. That way you don't get tied up, locked up. You can slide to the football.
Carl Torbush said his defense overall has played pretty good. They've been getting beat up a little bit, specifically the secondary but he says there's 3 or 4 plays a game that have cost them their 2 losses. But overall, he's been pretty pleased. Manning fires, flag down the far side. Pass is caught by Collins. He takes it down to the 37, but hold everything. We'll see what happens. At the 30-yard line on the far side of the field is a flag. And an injured player on the field. Is that Collins who made the catch? Holding against Ole Miss will bring it back. It could be a double whammy. If that's Collins, they're leading. Omar Rayford is down.
Rayford's their senior. He's one of their go-to guys.
Against the offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
Boy, and that is a huge penalty because you're talking about negating the entire catch. The catch was at about the 37-yard line. They're going to have it back inside about the 26, 27-yard line. Huge penalty.
Omar Rayford standing up. Omar has a streak of 14 games in a row where he's caught at least 1 pass, and today he does not have a catch. And it looks as though he might have twisted an ankle on that near sideline.
Well, you got to start thinking about go-to people. Who are you going to go to? Collins has been good. He's found Collins a little bit. We haven't heard much about Bill Flowers. They talked a lot about trying to get football to him. Not in right now, but they need to go to.
The redshirt freshman out of Pelham, Alabama. Manning, as the pocket collapses, lofts it up in the air. Oh, nearly caught. Gerald Dixon had great coverage. It was intended for Armstead. The ball batted around in the air and nearly caught by Ole Miss. But, Dave, I got to give a lot of credit to the Alabama front 4. They have really put some heat on Eli today.
Yes, they have. They're doing a lot of twists in there. You see him coming around on the twist. And Manning just threw this one up for grabs. And sometimes when you're playing wide receiver, you got to play defense. Keep them from intercepting the ball, and that's exactly what he did. As Armstead went up for the football, he knew he didn't have a shot at it. Don't allow the defender to catch it.
Ridgeway to punt. Line drive kick. And right away, Carter is nailed at the 33. Matt Greer on the tackle for Ole Miss. A punt of 37 yards. Tyler Watts and company lead by 10. They have the football on a rainy day in Oxford.
The bow. Resistance becomes strength. Becomes power. The power to change and reshape your entire body. This is Bowflex, an entire gem-in-one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance in any room in your home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. One simple workout. 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Bowflex is real. The results are real. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Call right now for a free video and brochure. Bowflex, the power is yours.
This season, SEC tailgating won't be complete without first visiting one of your local Hibbett sports stores. Here you'll find the brand new 2001 SEC collection and a money savings offer from Golden Flake. Whenever you purchase a 12 1/4 ounce bag of Golden Flake thin and crispy chips, you'll receive a coupon worth 20% off any SEC collection item. And when you buy collection merchandise, you'll get a coupon for buy one, get one free off Golden Flake's Mazitos brand tortilla chips. It's a win-win when you're wearing the SEC collection.
Kelly Cadillac is proud to support the Keep America Rolling campaign with 0% financing for up to 5 years, plus additional savings of up to $5,000 on DeVille and Seville, and $7,000 on every Eldorado. Free financing for up to 60 months on 01 models and up to 36 months on 02s, including the bold new Escalade. Now's a great time to invest in America with interest-free financing up to 5 years. Kelly Cadillac, at your service. Hurry, offer expires October 31st.
In 1994, they had to call the game off for about 20 minutes as a rainstorm pummeled this Alabama-Ole Miss matchup in Tuscaloosa. Today we've had a lot of rain, but no lightning in sight, so we continue on, and Alabama leads it by 10. 12:37 to go in the fourth quarter. First and 10 for the Crimson Tide. Nowhere to go for Galloway. Kenny Jackson on the stop. Charles.
You know, guys, you talked about Tyler Watts all day today running the option, how well he's done. We talked to Coach Fran at the half, and he said Alabama's been able to run the option well because they've executed and they saw something in Mississippi's defense. And Tyler Watts has done it a number of ways. This time he fakes the run, throws a pass that turned into a touchdown to Sam Collins. Then he takes it and takes off again. And here, he's not selfish. He'll pitch it to the guy that's open, Santonio Beard, for a big gain.
Charles, he has gone over 100 yards passing and 100 yards receiving for the third straight game as he short hopped his intended receiver. But the only quarterback in Alabama history to do that. Here are his numbers today. Not impressive throwing the football. 7 of 19 in terms of percentage. He came in over 60% in terms of completing passes. But he has 105 yards rushing. And Andrew Zhao this season has only thrown 8 passes, but he replaced Tyler Watts last year in this game and had a great afternoon throwing the football. Third down and 10. Pass is caught, but a fumble. They say it's incomplete. Incomplete. Vaughn Hutchins on the stop.
Well, that was a good stick by Hutchins. He came up. Wouldn't have made the first down, but he came up and just made him cough up the football. Interesting. I mean, you've got a 10-point lead, and you throw the ball 3 times. Oh, boy, you know, that looks a little bit like a fumble to me. Hate to say that, Dave. I don't want to be questioning the officials, but that looked like a catch.
Lane Bearden to punt it away. Averaging 41 yards a kick. This is a long drive, very returnable. Armstead has some time to evaluate the field, and what he saw wasn't pretty. He swarmed and dropped after a 3-yard return, a 40-yard kick. Ole Miss needs to get it cranked up. They've been a little sluggish here in the second half. Back to Oxford after this.
Hi, I need to run a skid steer loader.
Oh, okay, sir. We have those.
Whoa. Do you have scissorless?
I sure do.
What about welders?
Got them.
Cement mixers?
Yep, right over there.
Concrete saws?
Yep.
Generators? Tampers? Pumps?
It's Skid Steer Day. Stop by your cat rental store and register to win a free week's rental of a cat skid steer for your business.
Light tower. Oh, yeah.
To keep your business moving in the right direction, you need to make the best decisions about your image. Fast Signs offers sign and graphic solutions to make your choices simple. With locations coast to coast, Fast Signs is ready to keep your business moving. Fast Signs, sign and graphic solutions made simple. Call, click, or visit a Fast Signs location near you.
Nice seats, Axe, man. What is this, like room double C?
At least a beer vendor comes up here, huh?
Yeah. Have you got any oxygen?
Yeah, what were they, sold out of seats on the roof, genius?
Yeah, really good. This is really cool, though, guys. I've never seen a game from orbit before.
Well, nice pass, nice pass. Hey, watch your heads, guys. Here comes a blimp. A blimp. How's the beer taste?
Good. Handling fee, Ice House style. We make the smooth, never watered down taste of Ice House for guys like you.
There you go.
People from all walks of life have discovered that Check Into Cash offers a simple solution to one of life's most difficult situations. It happens when an unexpected expense arises and it's just before payday. At Check Into Cash, you write us a personal check and you get the cash you need instantly. We'll hold your check up to 14 days. You can be in and out within minutes. The next time you need quick cash for whatever reason, go to Check Into Cash. It's quick, easy, and confidential.
Check Into Cash with 8 area locations. Call 877-262-CASH.
Get the Call is back, and this year is your chance to win every weekend with Ice House. Saturday during the game, a few lucky consumers will get a winning phone call, and one of those winners will get to see their favorite team play all season long. It could be you. See participating Ice House displays or visit icehouse.com to register your phone number. Ice House, official beer of JP Sports Broadcast, would like to congratulate Kevin McMillan from Pilot Mountain, North Carolina, last week's Get the Call grand prize winner. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents who are 21 or older. See displays for official rules. Sweepstakes ends November 20th, 2001. Here we go. Ole Miss, 1st and 10 from the 28, down by 10. Manning, back to pass, has some time, and connects. First down, Ole Miss at the 48. It goes to his tight end, Doug Ziegler, the junior. A gain of 20.
We give a lot of credit to that offensive line, giving them time. Able to do a little turnaround, play action, and then just look down and find his man coming across the field. Well, when you got time, Manning can hit you, he can burn you. He's that time. They need to score in this series. They need to get points on the board. They need to take some pressure off their defense.
Stackhouse stays in the block as Manning has to release it quickly. Pressure came from Anthony Bryant, the sophomore out of New Bern, Alabama. 6'3", 335 pounds. Charles, there's some banged up players on that Ole Miss sideline.
Yes, there are, Dave. Omar Rayford twisted an ankle. Justin Coleman also twisted an ankle. And Eddie Strong, you saw earlier, had the wind knocked out and went back in. According to Tim Mullins, the trainer, all three are okay. Retaped a couple of them. All three expected to continue to play.
Charles, this is a team that has been decimated with nicks and injuries since before the season even started. Tough to get some momentum when you lose some key players, as Ole Miss has. Manning under pressure. Pass is caught. One-handed grab by Chris Collins. First down, Ole Miss. How did he do that?
That was incredible. First of all, he's going to get pressures from Monroe. Eric Monroe, number 22, is going to put pressure on the quarterback. But when he looks downfield, he just kind of floats it out there. But what a catch. Look at the pressure there, and watch the catch. One hand up, just sits him flat in the hand. He brings it down. Great catch by Collins. And sometimes that's the kind of things that you need to spark you.
25-yard gain. Collins now 6 catches, 94 yards. Handoff goes to Stackhouse. Powers his way to the 20. Wortham on the stop. Cornelius now with 8 tackles unofficially this afternoon.
That's just keep him honest, go up the middle. I love Stackhouse. When he gets hit, he just keeps those legs churning. You know, he's a good compact package, about 240 pounds, great leg strength.
He actually made his first start as a tailback last week. That's where he lines up today. He had a career-high 18 carries against Arkansas State and finished with a career-high 71 yards. Sanford, the fullback, he gets the carry, and he is shy of the first down. Salim Rashid met him right in the hole, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Boy, you got a good mark. You're right. You got a good mark.
Joe Gunn twisted his ankle right before the half. He's been in on a few series and a few plays, but hasn't seen a lot of action in a short yardage situation. David Cutcliffe will go with the big lineup. Couple of tight ends, Stackhouse and Sanford in the backfield. The handoff goes to Stackhouse. He'll break it outside. Stackhouse, touchdown, Rebels, 18 yards.
Well, if you guess and you guess wrong, you pay the price, and that's what Alabama did that time. They thought inside, short yardage, and Stackhouse just bounces outside just to the beat of that play. Again, everybody's thinking inside. See everybody swarming inside, then he just gets outside, gets a nice block there. That was Sanford got that good block for him on the outside edge.
Going after, no good. Oh my.
Wow.
Jonathan Nichols was 23 of 23 in point after attempts before that.
Boy, and look at, oh boy, chew that gum hard.
But Ole Miss will take the 6. Charles Stackhouse, the senior from West Memphis, gets it done on 18 14-yard touchdown run.
This moment in Southeastern Conference football is presented by Citgo. We know you. I was a fullback for the Ole Miss Rebels. My first year in 1947 was also the first for legendary coach John Bach. I wore the number 24 and helped guide Ole Miss to their first SEC championship at a 13-9 win over Texas Christian in the Delta Bowl. After college, I played for the Chicago Bears in the NFL. Do you know me?
Forgot the pickles.
That was Ole Miss fullback John K.O. Dotley. K.O. tops all former Rebel running backs with 1,355 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns in the 1949 season, giving him first-team All-American honors. In 1950, K.O. bulled his way to 1,057 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns to end his remarkable Rebel career. This moment in Southeastern Conference football is presented by Citgo. We know you.
Say ole for all your favorites. Don Pablo's El Matador. And check out our bold new appetizers featuring Cholula hot wings. Let's go, amigo. Only at Don Pablo's.
Newton Oldsmobile GMC is one of the area's most respected GM dealers. The GMC lineup offers a complete array of trucks and SUVs, including the Denali, the 2002 Envoy, and the Sierra in regular, extended, and crew cab styles. Oldsmobiles include the Aurora Sedan, the Intrigue, and Silhouette. And every Oldsmobile comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty. If you're looking for a reliable pre-owned vehicle, check out our used car department. Stop by and let us help you decide your transportation needs. And remember, selling cars is not a game, it's what we do every day.
Play on the special teams. Next week, we will travel to Athens to see Mark Richt and the Georgia Bulldogs and their young quarterback David Green take on the Kentucky Wildcats and their young quarterbacks, the freshman Shane Boyd or the sophomore Jared Lorenzen. Who will it be? We shall see. In Athens next week, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. Check the Jefferson Pilot sports station in your area.
Well, I know what this quarterback is thinking. Run that clock, get some first downs, take the pressure off their defense.
Watts will keep it to the 20, a gain of 5. Lanier Goethe in his middle linebacker spot makes the stop for the Ole Miss Rebels.
And Dave, let me tell you how big it is for a defense. When your offense comes down the field and score, I mean, you are pumped. You're standing up there. You know that you've got an offense that's moving the football. The Knicks, they don't bother you now. You see people like Eddie Strong in there. They're the leaders. They've got to play.
Ole Miss going without LP Spence and Josh Cooper to injuries. Here's Watts. His pass just off the fingertips of Jason McCadley. On the coverage, Von Hutchins.
When you're going to hear a crowd respond on this third down.
Oh, yeah. They may be wet, Dave, but they will be loud.
They will be loud. Just almost get the feel that Alabama's gone away from that option. Listen to him.
Fourth down, and Alabama will have to punt it away. And Dave, this is bringing back memories of a couple of weeks ago in Columbia, South Carolina.
Absolutely. Alabama dominated that football game the entire game. South Carolina just hung in there until the last, and then all of a sudden they got hot, came down and scored twice. Now their defense has come out, Ole Miss's defense has come out. They've stuffed them, they stopped them. Not much time off the clock. They're going to get the ball back. And Dave, they should get the ball back in excellent field position.
Bad kick by Lane Bearden, and Ole Miss will only have to go 54 yards.
Well, you talk about spreading the football around, and we talked about it earlier. There's Chris Collins. He gets the first one on that big play early. 6 different receivers he's hit. That's Doug Ziegler. That's Armstead on one. Look at the way he throws it around. There's Armstrong gets one. He has found a lot of different people.
15 of 29, 214. It hasn't been real pretty for Eli today. Joe Gunn back in at tailback. Stackhouse moves to the fullback. 5-man front for Alabama. Manning has some time, fires, pass is caught at the 41 by Collins. That'll be an Ole Miss first down. Collins has been just sensational this year for the Rebels.
Now it's just a little curl to the outside, get the yardage, come out there, and watch, just curl in there, get separation, and he comes down. Excellent catch. You know, if Manning can get time, and his offensive lineman all of a sudden in that last series gave him time. He's found his wide receivers. He's got time to look downfield. He's not taking shots.
Collins over the 100-yard mark for the 3rd time this season. Stackhouse, flags are down. Flags are down on both sides, and it appears there could be 6 men we're up on the line of scrimmage for.
Boy, do you hate a play like that if you're a head coach. Illegal procedure. I think you got that one right, partner. I think it's going to be 6
7
on
guys
line.
are up on the line of scrimmage. If they had 6, that'd be pretty good.
We have an illegal formation against the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Maybe they only had 5 up there.
Not enough. But look what a penalty like that does. You got the ball on about the 34-yard line. You've just picked up 6 yards. Now all of a sudden you're back on the 46-yard line.
1st and 15. They back him up. High formation again. Manning scrambles, fires toward the end zone. Passes up in the air, batted away, intended for Armstead. On the coverage was Wayne Bacon. That was basically a free-for-all pass.
That was a jump ball. You know what I wanted Eli Manning to do down there? Pull the ball down and run. Watch, he slides out to his right. Now he's got a little bit. Look how much room he's got right here. He can at least pick up 10 yards if he cut back to the inside. This is just a jump ball. Good defensive play right there. That's Bacon. Good play. Don't interfere, just get up high. Excellent. Look at Manning. Not much facial expression. He knows he's got to come up with a big one. He's hit his tight end a couple times real well.
2nd and 15. Manning gets leveled right as he got it off. Brooks Daniels may have come in there and gotten a hit on him, and Brooks pretty happy. Wortham.
Boy, this is backside pressure where your quarterback is most vulnerable. He doesn't see it coming. You're right, he gets stuck. That's why you bring that edge.
Brooks Daniels, 200-pounder out of Jasper, Florida, 37 tackles this year. 3rd down conversions today, 3 for 11. Remember, they had converted over 50% of their 3rd down conversions, which was 2nd best in the conference coming into today. So Alabama's defense has been very solid on 3rd down. Manning to pass, pressure again, steps up, fires over the middle. Armstead has the first down at the 24 for Ole Miss. A gain of 21.
And I know that David Cutcliffe was saying, have confidence in your line, because they were buzzing around him. And he steps up in the pocket. He trusts his offensive lineman. And he found Armstead coming across. He's a little target, but he found him. He was wide open. But look, step up. Trust your line. Gave him time to find it.
Coach Cutcliffe told us yesterday Eli's only as good as his line is. And when he gets time, he can be effective. He's been hit hard, though. He will remember Alabama for a while. Stackhouse gets a couple of yards.
Boy, and Dave, you start thinking about that extra point that was missed, 24-23. You've got to pick up 7. That's a huge factor.
Eli just shy of just a little over 50% today, passing 247 yards. He is the only quarterback in Ole Miss history to have 4 straight 250-yard games. To make it 5 here, he's got 247 on the day. Hit as he throws again. Pass bobbled, pass caught. That's going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Collins with yet another reception this afternoon.
And that may have been his most difficult one. It was at his feet. He caught it. I mean, this is a good catch. Right here, coming towards you. He's running right towards you. Look where he catches the ball. Down about 2 inches off. He even kind of kicked it up and picks up positive yardage. 3rd down and 2. You've got 2 downs to make it.
Collins, 8 catches. Wow. Career high for him, 113 yards, 14-yard average. He had 6 for 100 against Murray State, 7 for 119 versus Kentucky. Manning fires, has his tight end, first down, Rebels. Ziegler takes it to the 12. Wayne Bacon on the stop.
Well, I've liked Ziegler all day long coming off the line. He just drags off the line and catches that first down play. He's got sure hands. He's big, but he's got sure hands, Dave.
.25 and counting as Eli Manning has remained calm. Connected on 4 of 6 passes this drive. Joe Gunn takes it down to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Kendall Moorhead on the stop.
You know, we talked about Ziegler having the good hands. Let's watch his block here. Slide to the middle, number 89. Good block right there, kick out. You see, run back inside the seam. Good block. That's against Kendall Moorhead.
8th play of the drive coming up. It started at the Ole Miss 46. Joe Gunn couldn't bounce it outside. Good play by Cornelius Wortham. His 10th tackle today. Cornelius has played so well, he's upseated Victor Ellis, the senior, at that linebacker spot.
And you watch number 16 come to the left of your screen. If he doesn't get Joe Gunn right there, Gunn goes into the end zone. There's nobody else to help him. That's one thing that Wortham has done, is he's got those hands on him. You know what I do right here? I'm going to throw the football, and I'm going to look towards my hot receiver. He's got Armstrong down here. I think he's got Collins up to the top of the screen. Brings him in motion to the bottom.
Manning has to throw it to the corner of the end zone, throws it away. Good coverage by the Alabama secondary.
And now comes the tough decision. Oh. This is tough. You want to go for the touchdown. You're down 4.
Dave, the missed extra point.
Oh. You want to go for the touchdown, but I think you got to go for the field goal.
That's the last time out for Ole Miss in this game. They call the timeout. So if they do get in a situation, they will have to definitely use the hurry up offense without any timeouts remaining. But 4th down and 7 coming up for the Ole Miss Rebels. Alabama has been in some barn burners this year.
They have been, and their defense has not quit.
Georgia, 3 touchdowns better than Vanderbilt. We're not even to halftime yet up in Nashville. A tornado warning in Starkville has delayed the Troy State-Mississippi State game. Will that game ever end?
Ouch.
Michigan all over Purdue in the Big Ten. How about Clemson? They trailed early in that game, and they just put a hurting on NC State.
Dave, two schools of thought here. I know you want to go for the touchdown, but you know what happens if you don't make it? You give the ball to Alabama on the 9-yard line. If your defense can come in and get a good stop, you'll get the football back in midfield. So do you risk a chance of trying to score a touchdown, take the field goal, which is almost an assured 3, no timeouts left on the clock? Do you have to go for it now? A lot of decisions from David Cutcliffe.
I would respond this way. My field goal kicker is a redshirt freshman, and he's only attempted 1 field goal all season long, and it was last week, a 46-yarder, and he missed it. You don't know about this guy. I don't know that I want to put the game in my kicker's hands at this situation.
That's a smart call. I think I'd go with the hot hand, and that's Eli Manning.
Manning under pressure, hit again, through the hands of his intended receiver, Omar Rayford. Oh, he was open.
Open? He was all alone. All he had to do was deliver the ball. Rayford is going to come in here, number 4, and he's on a cut right to the post, and he throws it high. He's under pressure. Watch Rayford, bottom of your screen. You're going to see, look how wide open he is. The ball almost looked like it sailed on him. Didn't come like he delivered it. I wonder if that pressure bothered him a little bit more than what you would think. But that was a strike. That was touchdown all the way.
Yeah, I think that pass got a little bit away from Eli, and Omar was there, so we shall see what Tyler and company will do. Backed up inside the 10. There's 3:47 to go. A couple of first downs will make Alabama fans feel pretty good. Handoff goes to Galloway. Hutchins on the stop. And remember this, Ole Miss has no timeouts left.
They can't stop the clock. A couple first downs. This one's going to be history. See if Watts doesn't go back to what he's done so well, and that's the option play, reading that freeze. Now it's dangerous. That toss is dangerous, I want to be honest with you. But they performed it so well today. Galloway, he's been a star catching that football on the toss.
Collins goes in motion. The handoff goes to Galloway. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down, which is the marker's right about the 19. They will mark Galloway at the 17. Corey Robinson, the freshman out of Knoxville, with the tackle for the Rebels. Don Lindsay on the left-hand side of your screen, the defensive coordinator, who has been with some great teams and coaches. He's actually was a defensive coordinator at Alabama in 2 different stints. It started under Bear Bryant back in '65 over in Tuscaloosa.
Well, first things first for Ole Miss, you can't jump off sides. You've got to get penetration.
He didn't get it. It'll bring up 4th down. Anthony Sims, the senior from Memphis, causing havoc.
Well, he wears number 32. You don't think about that as being a defensive lineman, but you talk about penetration. Watch him shoot through there. Number 32 gets a hat on him. He's got help. He's got a lot of people coming. Again, great penetration, just burst through. Play actually lost about 2 yards. Wow.
Jackson also in on the play with Sims. The 2 guys up the middle, stepping it up for the Rebels. So Alabama will have to punt it away. And Dave, you mentioned it earlier, with a good defensive stand, barring a fumble or something, Ole Miss will have decent field position. 24-20, minute 42 left in the 4th.
Hats off to rookie driver Kevin Harvick. Kevin, how's it feel having Sonic behind you?
Oh, it's great having a sponsor people love like Sonic.
Happy to stay behind the scenes, are they?
Laid back, genuine, and very easy going.
Hats off to another rookie you're gonna love, Sonic's new chicken strip sandwiches. A whole new way to love our famous chicken strips. Tender all-white meat made with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese. Try yours today in zesty spicy or delicious classic style. Hurry in. They're here this month only.
Looks like Sonic's quietly cooked up another winner.
On an all-new 7th Heaven, Eric Camden is trying.
Honey?
Trying to understand his family.
Maybe you should just say you're sorry.
But I didn't do anything. I didn't.
And that's just the beginning.
I'm gonna be a gynecologist.
Well, he does love women.
Yeah.
Well, there is one more thing.
Marry me. We belong together and I love you.
An all-new 7th Heaven.
Monday night at 8 on WB 53.
SEC football has been brought to you by the Cat Rental Store, where you can rent a whole lot more.
Alabama to punt it away on 4th down. Armstead will make the catch, and he's tripped up right at the 40-yard line. The 41 is where they'll mark it. Tackle made by Chris James, backup safety.
Boy, and Armstead came to the side. You know, he's a wide receiver. It looked like he may have hurt his arm on that play. See if when he puts his hand down.
Oh, yeah, I think he might have jammed his wrist as he went down on the ground. Here we go. 1:34. Ole Miss needs a touchdown. Manning fires. Pass is caught by Rayford. First down, clock stops. No timeouts for the Rebels, but a flag is down at the 35. Let's see. Holding against the Rebels.
Oh, what a beautiful pass is going to be negated by a hold penalty inside. Manning can't throw the football any better than what he did, but it's all going to be negated because of that holding call.
And holding against the offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Yeah, there's Mark. Yeah, you see Johnson there, number 76. He brings down Kenny King. Can't tackle him in there. That's a good call. That's a call that has to be made.
Ole Miss came into the game with 18 penalties in 4 games. Today, they have 8. First and 20. Manning under pressure, has his receiver. That's a first down. It goes to Jamie Armstrong. He's run out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Alabama.
When he caught Armstrong on a crossing pattern. Crossing pattern right here. Plant, come across, be a big target, wave your hands. Great separation there from the defensive safety.
Dennis Franchione has seen this before. He hopes his defense can make the stand now. 1:21 to go. Manning throws it away. Pressure coming up the middle. Chris Collins was the intended receiver. And Charles.
Hey guys, you know, one thing I'm noticing in Alabama's secondary, a lot of teams go into that big prevent defense, and a lot of times people say it prevents victory because you let teams roll downfield. Doesn't look like Alabama's playing it that soft. They're playing it, you know, somewhat that way, but not totally. I didn't see them just in regular 2 deep. I saw them looking outside, playing a little bracket coverage too.
See what they do here. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Manning has time. He sees some room. Dumps it off. Has his receiver. Torrance Sanford out at the 5-yard line. Eli Manning faked the run and dumped it over. First down, Rebels inside the 10.
You said it, faked it. He thought about running. Watch him drift out to his right. He's going to bring the ball down. Now, does he run with it? All of a sudden, his receiver, you see him kind of motion a little bit. And again, just go downfield. He breaks the coverage, and he's down the sideline. That's exactly what he needed. Now, he's got 4 strikes in the end zone. He's got a little bit over a minute left.
Manning now up over 300 yards, 319 to be exact, after the 39-yard pickup. First and goal. The handoff gets it inside the 5 to Joe Gunn. We are now under a minute. The Rebels with no timeouts remaining. And an injury to an Alabama player will stop the clock. That's Jarrett Johnson, the junior out of Chiefland, Florida. One of the best interior defensive linemen in the Southeastern Conference.
You know, it was interesting yesterday when we were talking with Eli Manning. We said, do you live in your father's lore? He can start his own lore. If he can complete a pass here for a touchdown, he can start a new Manning. He said, no, my dad was out of here 30 years ago. None of these kids know him. I can tell you right now, they'll never forget him.
I hope Jarrett Johnson is all right because he is a great player. I enjoy watching him play. He's one of those guys who motor never stops. And he looks like he's in some pain.
Look, 96 White. You see him bent back over.
Oh.
Somebody went on the back of his legs. There he is right there, 96. Now he pulls his legs out, and you see him just rolling. That's the hardest thing for a defensive lineman. You got all your pads. Everything's up in front of you. And when you get rolled on from the back, that is tough. And I don't want to see him lose or lost. Because as you said, he's a great hard worker.
2nd and goal now from the 3. We'll hope Jarrett Johnson will be all right.
Got to start thinking pass.
Joe Gunn in the flat. Stop at the 1, but his second effort takes it to the goal line. Touchdown, Rebels. Can you believe it?
What an effort. You know, you see second efforts like that, and people call them second efforts, but with Joe Gunn, it's not a second effort. It's his effort. He was going to be stuffed at the 1-yard line. He refused to be denied.
Joe Gunn with his 2nd touchdown today, but an important point after. Ole Miss missed their last point after try. This one splits the upright. It's a 3-point game. The Rebels go 59 yards in 5 plays. It only took 48 seconds. They leave 46 ticks on the clock now in the 4th quarter. Alabama has 3 timeouts remaining. They're down a field goal, but what a play from Eli Manning.
Oh, outstanding play. He saw him all the way out of the backfield. Now, put your head down and just stretch. This is the whole game. And he does, and watch Manning's reaction. All right, he knows that they are in the controlling seat of this game. That extra point puts them up 3, Dave.
Manning on that drive, 3 of 4 for 65 yards. The big one came on the pump fake, and he hit Sanford down the sideline and set up 1st and goal. Manning now 22 of 41, 325 yards, a career high for the sophomore quarterback.
Now you look across the ball at what Alabama has to do. Do they kick it deep to Freddie Millens? Do they try to pooch kick? Alabama has 3 timeouts left. They've got 46 seconds. They've got a quarterback that is a run and pass option.
Dave, this is almost the same scenario that happened in Knoxville last week. Georgia took the ball 56 yards and went down the field for the touchdown after Tennessee squibbed it, and it didn't go far enough and shortened the field for the Dogs.
Well, if I'm that kicker, I'm having him kick it deep.
And it goes deep. This will go to Carter. They hand it to Millens. They'll throw it back to McCadley. And a flag down on a forward pass. McCadley didn't come back far enough.
Exactly. Trick play, but it doesn't trick anyone. They wanted Millens to throw the football. He was designed to throw it. They kicked away from him. It's an illegal forward pass.
Pass. The ball was thrown forward. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
Oh, my.
Well, again, they throw it over to Millens. Now watch, he's going to start up here now. You're right. He didn't get back far enough. He had to throw a forward pass and then skipped it to him. If he's behind the ball, if he's behind, he gets a lateral.
So now Alabama is backed up inside the 5. Watts in the 2nd half today, just 2 of 7 throwing the football. Overall, he's thrown for $136. Watts stays in the pocket, dumps it over to his tight end Jones, who dropped it.
Oh, mercy. He had Terry Jones right over the middle out near the 35-40-yard line, and you're right, he drops it. His offensive line gives him time. Look, he's coming to Jones, 82. He's got him. Look how wide open he's going to be out almost 40-yard line. Gosh, knows you got to catch those.
Second down and 10. And movement against Alabama, I believe, on Justin Smiley, the right guard. That'll move them back a couple of more yards.
Well, start on the offense, half the distance to the goal, still second down.
Remember, here's a look at Smiley moving, and he knows it. He jumped the gun. Dave, Ole Miss has not beat Alabama since 1988. They have a 10-game losing streak to the Tide in a series that dates back to 1894. Could this be the day?
Well, David Cutcliffe told them they had to believe, and they're believing.
Picked off! Lanier Gothi, the junior, who's had a huge game at the linebacker spot, will seal the deal for the Rebels in Oxford.
Right across the middle, you see Gothi reading the eyes of the quarterback, playing center field. He comes down with his biggest catch. And I wonder if they tear down goalposts at Ole Miss. John Schaefer, the athletic director, is over there. Got a lot of people out there, but what an exciting day for Ole Miss.
Timeout taken by Alabama with 19 seconds remaining. Eli Manning throws for a career high 325 yards. Ole Miss has never beaten Alabama in Oxford. It's only the 5th meeting in Oxford, Mississippi. Back in a moment.
SEC football has been brought to you by the Cat Rental Store, where you can rent a whole lot more. By Sonic, America's Drive-In, and their friends at Dr. Pepper. And by Fast Sign. For sign and graphic solutions made simple, call 1-800-FAST-SIGN.
The celebration is on in Oxford, Mississippi, because Ole Miss may win for the first time in 13 years against Alabama. Manning takes a knee, and Alabama will use another timeout. Well, now it's time to look at the BMW Ultimate Drive of the Game, brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And I think this is rather simple. Eli Manning caps off a 59-yard drive when he hits Joe Gunn in the flat, and Gunn's second effort gets him into the end zone on a 3-yard touchdown pass. Manning was the story on that drive, completing 3 of 4 passes. It only took 48 seconds. And Eli Manning didn't look great to me, Dave, for much of this game, but he hung in there.
Absolutely, he's a streaker. He gets on that streak, and all of a sudden he starts doing it. Remember, the first half was good first half, but not great. Second half, 15 of 26, 207 yards.
That will do it. The 49th meeting between Ole Miss and Alabama goes to the Rebels as they beat Alabama for the first time since 1988, and the celebration is on in Oxford. Two tremendous quarterbacks greet Tyler Watts and Eli Manning, but David Cutcliffe walks off as a victor today. Back after a word from your local stations.
On the next Jerry Springer, the king of trash TV is back for his 11th and wildest season yet.
Today's show is full of wet, wild, and naked strippers.
A stripper-filled hour of sex and surprises.
I'm really a man.
Expose yourself to the season premiere of the Jerry Springer Show.
I'll tell you what, Jerry, that's just sick and wrong right
there. They're getting wet, wild, and naked on the next Jerry Springer.
Monday night at 11 on WB 53.
Remember when you were a kid, waking up to the smell of Mom's freshly baked buttermilk biscuits? Well, you're confused, because she never made biscuits. She made toast. You must be thinking of Hardee's, where real bakers have been making biscuits from scratch for 23 years using real buttermilk. That's the kind of tender, loving care we give everything at Hardee's, like our new bacon cheddar omelet biscuit, loaded with crumbled bacon, cheddar, and jack cheeses, all in a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Right now, get 2 for just $2.
Saturday night at 11 on WB 53.
Alabama falls to 2-2 in league play. Ole Miss goes to 2-1. They win it 27-24. It was a big day for Eli Manning. Don't forget, next week we'll be in Athens, Kentucky, and Georgia. For Dave Rowe, Charles Davis, our entire SEC football crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long, everybody. You have been watching Jefferson Pilot Sports, exclusive coverage of Southeastern Conference football.